Hello everybody and welcome back to the Alpha League, the League of the Alphas. That made perfect sense. Look, that makes sense in today's context. My name is Slowwolf. I'm going to be your host for today. And it is with great pleasure that I present to you our first cast game of Alpha League for Season 8. Our matchup here is, well, it's a biggin. There's the Imperial Knights against the Space Wolves. See, I told you that the pack reference would be a thing in there. And it's going to be a good time. Either armies are considered savage on a regular day, but today of all days, we expect to see carnage. We expect to see broken vehicles. We expect to see people exploding. It's going to be fantastic. Why is that dude wearing a wolf on his head? That is an excellent point. Because he's a space wolf. That's just what they do. They like wearing wolves. Let's go and take a look at things as they stand right now and take a look at the lists. And as you can see, they're moving around the objectives. That's because today they are playing Priority Mission on what seems to be Table 4, if I remember my tables correctly. This is going to be a very strong, high-scoring game. Usually tends to be. And both lists here are capable of doing quite a lot of work. Let's go ahead and start off the our army here by Tomonius, playing the Imperial Knights. It's the easiest one out of the batch to really go through, as Knights tend to be a fairly quick and dirty affair. The list is called I Like Big Guns and I Cannot Lie, so take that as you will. They've gone for House Raven out of all the different knights here, which allows them some pretty powerful stratagems, including one which allows them to just reroll all their dice during the shooting phase. It's pretty strong. Getting things started off, we've got not one, but two different Knight Megaras. The Knight Megaras themselves are infamous right now for how powerful they can be. Both of them have their Hecaton Siege Claws and Twin Rad Cleanser. One of them has the Raven Spirit of the Colossi relic. I'll look up what that does in a minute here. And then the other one is our Warlord for today. They have the Armor of the Sainted Ion for that 4-up invulnerable save at all times. Which they actually already have. No, they don't already have it. That just gives them their 4-up invulnerable save all the time. They are given the Cunning Commander Warlord trait as well. And they also have their Hecaton Siege Claw and Rad Cleanser. The Knight Castellan, big shooty boy over here. They are sporting themselves the Twin Siegebreaker Cannons and the 2 Shieldbreaker Missiles. They've got Call's Wrath. They've got the Cold Eradication Warlord trait for the Mechanicus. In short, dude is a 635-point monster. And accompanying all these 3 big knights, we've got 3 Armiger Warglaves with the Thermal Lance, a Meltagun on top, and a wee chainsword to just keep things going. And I lied, it's not a Meltagun, it's a heavy stubber. That's the knight list. Look, it's really powerful. It's got 3 big beefy boys. These 2 can go ahead and mix it up or stay at range and be happy. The Warglaves can go ahead and hold back field objectives or go up front and help support the other knights. And the Castellan just needs to sit in a nice, pretty spot and keep shooting things until they die. That's the main point of the list. Should be a popular time. The Raven aspect of the list allows it to be really shooty. And I expect that to be on full display here today. For those of you that need the lists, here are your lists, BT dubs. That way you can go ahead and check it out yourself. But yeah, the Knight Megara has been infamous lately just because of how powerful it is. And it's a Forge World model that just does everything that all the other knights wish they could do, but better, with the exception of maybe the Knight Castellan. They are going to be a problem. They are going to be absolutely devastating if not dealt with. That said, they could be dealt with fairly easily. We can check out the opposing list here by Amagic. He's playing Space Wolves. Today, it is a battalion headed up by a Wolf Lord on a bike here. The Wolf Lord himself is sporting some pretty sweet equipment. The bike is pretty much everything you need to know. He's fast, he hits hard. Has Rights of War to give him the obsec to everybody who's core within a few within 6 inches. Has a frost weapon and has Warrior of Legend as their to give them a Warlord trait and everything else as well. An extra Warlord trait and such as well, I believe. Maybe not. I'm not exactly sure what Warrior Legend does. I'll have to check it out. Secondly, we have a Librarian. Look at this boy hiding back here. There he is. This is Niall Stormcaller. Say hi, everybody. Niall Stormcaller is currently walking around with Murderous Hurricane, Instincts Awoken, and Stormcaller. That's like all the stuff that you need to make a Space Wolf time happy times. Murderous Hurricane allows people to hit, allows you to do some extra mortal wounds. Instincts Awoken, I believe, is what allows you to do a lot of extra hits in the assault phase, or just like in the fight phase. And Stormcaller, I don't remember exactly what it does. I'll have to check Wahapedia in a moment. But suffice to say, dude's doing what dude's supposed to do. Then we have got the Primaris Chaplain on bike. We know him, we love him. For some strange reason, he's an Ultramarine here, but whatever. This guy here is very hard-hitting and very fast. If they do decide to go for the solo super smashy chaplain, Slaplin. There we go. That's the portmanteau I was looking for. If they decide to go for the Slaplin build. In this case, though, they've gone for a support build, using the extra base to give them a few more inches of range on all the auras that they have. In this case, Litany of Faith, which gives them a 5-up in Feel No Pain against mortal wounds, and Canticle of Hate, which allows them to charge an extra 2 inches, if I remember correctly. This boy is also outfitted with the Master of Sanctity, which means that he gets to go ahead and cast 2 of those extra litanies if he wants to, or the Litany of Hate and 1 more. In addition, he has the Vox Spiritum and the Wise Orator trait, which allows him to get those things off on a 2+. The Vox Spiritum also allows him to shout even louder, so all those things, all those auras that he has are now on a 9-inch circle around him, which is insane. In the troop section, we have 2 squads of Incursors and a squad of Assault Marines, which I believe are already on the board. These guys allow you to forward deploy or chop up. In Space Wolves, they are extremely effective and highly efficient. I fully expect them to do the work, or at the very least hold some, hold some bases if they need to. Now for the heavy hitters. We got Blade Guard Veterans. Blade Guard Veterans and Space Wolves are particularly nasty because of the fact that they have that +1 to hit, which means that they hit on 2s. If they're anywhere near the captain re-rolling 1s, they wound really well. They get extra hits in the assault phase. They're extremely tough to move. Yeah, they're going to be a problem. They have also 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 separate Redemptor Dreadnoughts, all hiding here in this corner to start off with. These guys are all outfitted the same, with the Macroplasma Incinerator for that little bit of anti-tank, anti-elite infantry, an Onslaught Gatling Cannon on the left fist, an Icarus Rocket Pod to get some indirect fire, and Fragstorm Grenade Launchers. Some people would say that the Fragstorm Grenade Launchers are not as good as the Stormbolters. It kind of depends on personal preference and meta. I'm a fan of the Fragstorm Grenade Launchers, though, because you can kind of shoot into hordes pretty well with it. And there are a fair number of infantry right now in bigger squads, so that works. Finally, well, not finally, almost finally, we have not 1, but 2 full squads of 10 Wolf Guard. These guys are equipped with Lightning Claws and Storm Shields. It seems as if the, the Sergeant here seems to be equipped with dual Lightning Claws in some situations. That's not what it is. They're all equipped with Lightning Claws and Storm Shields, okay? Despite what it might look like. That means that they have a 4-up invuln save, a 2-up regular save, jump packs, the whole deal. They're hitting on 2s. They're re-rolling 1s because of the captain if they're nearby it. They're wounding on whatever, re-rolling everything because of the lightning claws. They get a bunch of extra attacks. These guys are scary in Space Wolves, and they're cheaper than they are in every other faction because they didn't get hit by the Vanguard Veteran nerf. What a time to be alive. And then finally, because every Space Wolf player seems to love these guys, it's the mascot. Look at this World of Warcraft model. Look at this Cyberwolf. Look at this beautiful boy. Look at him. He's just happy to be here. So this is just one Cyberwolf in its own squad, happy to keep screening, happy to hold a backfield objective, happy to just be a derp and do whatever it needs to do. It's extremely cheap, does what it's supposed to do, and calls it a day. It's adorable. That's it. That's the list. Look, it's 2,000 points on the nose for the Space Marines here, and it is it is also 2,000 points on the nose for the Knights. So there's no one who's immediately at an advantage. That's always a good sign. Yeah, like that's the list. If it's a little bit confusing as to what the lists are supposed to do, the Knights are probably going to try to hang back, do their thing, get some shooting off on the more important targets before they really decide to dedicate themselves to going in. And man, those buildings are tall. You can hide a Knight Castellan behind it. That's incredible. Whereas the Space Wolves are looking to hide the Dreadnoughts until they can go ahead and do a good old-fashioned counterpunch and get those fast-moving units up inside the Knights' faces as quickly as possible and tear them down. With all the close combat that they have access to, and the Knights are generally not as good in close combat as Space Wolves, there's definitely some nonsense that could happen here. The Knights need to be very careful. If they step out of line, they can get very easily picked off. Before we go into that, let's take a look at our secondaries here on this brand new shiny looking secondary sheet, so that way I can go ahead and just get them all lined up. For Tomonius, our Knights player, We have priority targets, big surprise there. We have Stranglehold, and we have Grind Them Down. These are not all that actually strange. The big reason why I'm a little bit interested in some of the in Stranglehold is because it's Knights, and Knights against Space Marines who have access to Rights of War is going to be a very tough call, although it can get a lot of points very quickly as well. We'll have to see how it works out for him. Priority targets is a no-brainer, because all you need to do is hold your one priority target, which is usually the safest objective near your deployment zone, and grind them down for Knights is a bit of a gimme. There's only so many Knights on the field, like in this case there's 6. If they can't somehow out-kill the Space Wolves, then they were in trouble already. Grind them down is literally just the Knights. If the Knights had a codex, grind them down would be their secondary in the book. That's how it would work. That's how essential it is to their playstyle. For our Space Wolves player here, Amagic, bringing it up. We got priority targets, big surprise, Stranglehold, big surprise, and raise the banners high. Now, I am interested to see how this works out. Priority targets, as we've spoken about before, is nearly impossible to mess up. It is super easy to get at least 12 points on if you're having a bad day, and you get the full 15 if you're having an even remotely good day. Just pick it. Every time you're in priority target mission, like as soon as you're in this mission, priority target, like you pick the secondary. It's more important than your usual secondaries that you would go for. Stranglehold makes a lot more sense for these Space Wolves, in my opinion, largely because they have more OBSEC. That's the main thing. They have more OBSEC. They have access to Rights of War. They can just yoink an objective out from underneath the Knights and easily get Stranglehold for the turn, which is fantastic. And finally, they've gone for Raise the Banners. Now, Raise the Banners is right. That's the sneaky secondaries. Raise the Banners is an interesting one here. I think that they could easily get away with getting 10 points for that, which is probably why our Space Wolves player Amagic ended up picking it up. All you need to do is do an action on these two objectives, and it'll be difficult for the Knights to actually get through unless they're winning. The downside is that you really do have to kind of hold on to these objectives and then make sure that the Knights never get near them in order to hold that. And if you want to get full points, you have to start raising banners elsewhere. And your Space Marines want to be doing things other than actions most turns. There's a reason why one of their stratagems is literally do the shooting and also an action, and somehow that's worth 2 CP. It's actually pretty helpful in some cases. But in this specific case, for playing Space Wolves, there's not a whole lot of shooty. The things that can do actions don't want to shoot, they want to charge. Yeah, Raise the Banners will probably be just the 10 points, and that's what Amagic's counting on, but that'll probably end up being it. I'm just going to let them know that they can go at any time here. Just so we can get this party started. You can go at any time. The stream, are ready. So at this point, it's a bit of a tough call as to who is on the upper hand here. We know that Knights are a tougher army to play right now, but if they get the first strike and manage to do a lot of damage, they absolutely can wreck the Space Wolves, particularly if the Wolf Guard don't come down soon enough or don't make their charges. Now, they should. The chances are that they should. With access to stuff like rerolls, the ability to shorten the charge distance thanks to Canticle of Hate, that kind of stuff, you know, there's definitely some bonuses there. The Blade Guard veterans are kind of out in the open, but they'll be able to like get into a position to countercharge or deal with Knights if anybody gets too close. It's a tough call. I think that really when it comes down to it, can the Knights kill enough of the Space Wolves that at least one of the Megaras and one of the Warglaives survives the rest of the game, and that the Castellan is not touched. That's super important. The Castellan has to be able to get off shots every single turn of the game, or else it's going to be the end of the day. As far as roll first turn goes, Tomonius takes the turn and is going to start things off here. Just go straight to the movement phase, because that's how Knights do. And we'll have to see what happens. Right now, as far as lines of sight go, this is the only real target that Amagic has managed to present to our Knights player, the Blade Guard veterans here. Everybody else is hiding, is protected, that kind of stuff. And the Wolf Guard are just not on the board. They're just not on the board. So we'll see how that decision turns out in the long run. I can understand the idea, but we'll have to see. I imagine that the Knights are going to move in such a way as to be able to get a couple of shots off the Blade Guard veterans and probably just try to get a kill on them right out of the gate. That makes a decent amount of sense, but the trick is to make sure not to overcommit to that, because otherwise the Dreadnoughts are going to come out and immediately murder a good chunk of the army. So yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Necrons just get there for free with a protocol. That's absolutely true, but you have to time it appropriately and do all this other stuff. And instead of that, you could also just be doing +1 inches of movement, which tends to be the correct choice. Not always though. The really cool thing that Necrons can do is that Nihilak, that dynasty, they get that as a 1 CP stratagem just for being Nihilak, which is also a pure OBSEC dynasty. So like you get the benefits of half of the most competitive dynasty build, plus a good stratagem, plus some actually reasonable warlord traits and stuff. But we're not talking Necrons here. Dang it, chat! Act and shoot. Yes, that's correct, Pants. That's absolutely true. I wish there's a perform an action and charge strat too. I mean, yes. We'll see. Oh, come on. There we go. Mr. Photon coming in. Knights, oh no, don't woof. Space Wolves, woof. Alright, so we see the Megara coming in to take the middle, do its best. There is a good chance that he could actually, if he has not advanced, and it does not seem as if he... Oh, wait, what's that 6 doing there? That seems like an advance. He could advance and charge with a stratagem, though, because that's how knights can do. But with these incursors being right up against the wall, that's probably an easy, like, tap and kill, just by rotating your base into that. And... based off of line of sight, he can probably still see the Blade Guard veterans if he moves a certain way. That does not seem to be the case, though, as he has decided to move a little bit further north. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the players here and see what they're saying. But as soon as we've, you know, we're gonna go ahead and see what they're talking about and what they're thinking right now.
You have to like actually expose yourself, which is good. Okay, so he'll go there. Let's see what else we do. The first Warglaive will advance. He goes extra 4, so he gets to go 18.
Okay, pretty reasonable advance. Seems like he's going to be moving up the Armigers to get them into lines of fire, or to just hop them up from bunker to bunker to bunker. That's an interesting move, though, in my opinion. I imagine that he does not want to block off the Knight Castellan from being able to like move around and such. But also, I don't think the Knight Castellan might not move this turn.
9.
I mean, what would be the point? There's nothing to shoot,
roll.
right? He'd have to move pretty far out to be able to see these Blade Guard vets.
Other Warglaive will advance.
Okay. The other Warglaive advances another 4.
Let's go 18.
Yep, and we can see he's hopping bunkers, making sure to just move from building to building so that way they don't get shot by much. Now, there's not much to be shot by outside of these dreadnoughts, which are right next to the captain, so they are re-rolling once they hit. A smart choice to avoid taking more wounds for free. But that is a lot of plasma that could really hurt, so, you know, going from building to building is probably a pretty safe bet.
No psychic, so we go into shooting. There's not much I'll be shooting with. Stern is protected by Cursor Squad. I think the only thing I have is my Amagic. And he will fire everything into the Blade Guards.
Alright, we got this thermal
He also
lance.
has the -1 to hit. We'll start with the Thermal Spear.
This is the big melt again. 2 shots. Pretty good, but it's hitting on 4s
force,
here.
Wounding on 2.
Yes.
Okay, 1 hit. Wounding on 2. No wound.
Of
Shame
course.
that. Okay, and now for the stubber.
Stubber,
Not likely to
hitting
do
on force,
much.
Wounding on force. Good job, Mr. Warglaive.
Yeah, that wasn't too surprising.
Maybe
You played enough
next
kill team, you
okay.
know that relying on a bunch of 50-50s is hard.
That is going to be everything. Because we can't see anything. Nope. Alright, it's going to be my turn, so I get 3 points for priority targets and 3 points for strangleholds.
Wow. Okay, not doing any charges or anything, but that's the end of the turn. At the end of the turn, we got priority targets, we got stranglehold, nothing died, so grind them down is not going to happen turn 1. That does bring us to a pretty reasonable 16 points on turn 1. There's not much bad about that, and a good setup to get at least 10 points, and very unlikely the full 15. But it is at least, you know, a possibility. About what we expected. It's not an easy time for knights in this mission with the way that Amagic deployed, and Amagic doesn't really have to do all that much to threaten the knights. All Amagic has to do is get into close combat in order to, you know, have a good time. The Knight Megara here with the Spirit of the Colossi, which is a relic I do need to actually look up. I'm going to look that up right now just to make sure that I know what I'm talking about. Hello, Wahapedia. Could you tell me what Spirit of the Colossi does, please? Thank you. Of the Colossi. Hopefully I spelled that correctly. I probably did not. There we go. So let's take a look. Okay, so each time the bearer is selected to shoot a fight, you can reroll one hit roll, wound roll, or damage roll made for the bearer. Alright, so it's just an efficiency upgrade. Not a defensive upgrade. So the Knight Megara here is sitting with a 5-up invuln save that can use in close combat and at range. It is a TA profile with 24 wounds. It's not a big deal. The Captain. Wow, this Captain's going aggro. Captain runs out as fast as it possibly can. Is going to charge the Armiger Warglaive, I imagine, using its dual lightning claws to deal it enough damage, steal the objective from him entirely with the obsec he has, not even contest it, and then force the knights to have to deal with him very inefficiently. Or just kill the Armiger Warglaive outright. This Dreadnought is going to poke out, be able to get some shots off from there, and is going to be able to be a threat to multiple different things on the battlefield in just a short minute. This could be a very brutal game if this counterpunch from the Space Wolves is as effective as it could be. Especially if this Knight Megara gets hurt enough. Now, that's the real question, is can enough stuff hurt the Knight Megara to stop it from being a threat next turn? Right now, I'm not sure if there's enough on the table. It depends on how many +1s to wound or how well the Blade Guard veterans do, because they are the prime way to deal with the Knight Megara right now for the Space Wolves. But this flank over here is going to immediately collapse. A very aggressive, very strong move out of Amagic that I quite like. All things considered, this could absolutely work, especially because, according to Battlescribe here, this guy's the Imperium Sword as well as Rites of Battle. That was the second Warlord trait I missed. Which means that he's got an extra attack and an extra strength. So he's actually sitting at his strength 5 lightning claws. Yikes, dude. That's actually going to work against knights well. 5-3 rolling is not terrible, as most Tau people using Overwatch will tell you. Who has OBSEC on the Knights side? Hilariously, not a 1. I believe that is a Chaos Knights thing. Specifically, no one has OBSEC on the Knights side, if I remember correctly how this works out. Let's go ahead and actually let me grab the lists for you, chat, because I see some people asking, you know, what's the list like? What's going on with the lists? What's happening with the lists? Well, here's the lists for you, sir. Boom. List has him as Hunter and Rights. Yep. Here it says Imperium Sword, though, so I'm a little confused as to what's going on with that. Now, here's the thing: I am not a judge, so I am not allowed to comment on their game in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. This means that I'm going to be just watching like the rest of you. So the Big R veterans predictably moving towards the center here. They do have strength 5 power swords, and if given the correct stratagems, will be in the assault, doctrine for the turn, and they'll be able to walk up here with hitting on 2s, exploding on 6s, extra hits, all that other stuff to make the Space Wolves really, really hit hard. We've got Sternhammer, Warden of the Last, our buff chaplain actually on bike here, who's going to be able to put out Canticle of Hate to get these incursors, the Blade Guard veterans, and potentially himself into combat in the middle. Now, I think that might be overcommitting, as that will get them all very easily killed. It would be best to commit just enough to badly wound, maybe kill the Megara, and then not get hit too much harder in return, and to make sure to take up space, I think is the main thing. What Amagic needs to do here is take up enough room that the chaplain can then go off to where the Wolf Guard are going to drop, because keep in mind, there are 20 of them still left to hit the table. That is quite a few points that Amagic is playing down on turn 1. He needs to make sure that he gets the chaplain over to where they're about to drop, and then they can charge. And in order to have options to charge different things, Amagic's going to have to make sure that he takes up enough board space that the knights can't really stop them from deep striking into his lines. Official judge request then, please, can you verify the captain is being played as per the list, not as per beat, as if the two are different? I will go ahead and check immediately. Just give me a second to mute the music for a second, and then be able to speak to them over Discord. Hey, you two, I have a quick question.
Yes.
Official judge request here for a second. The captain on bike for you, Amagic. What are its warlord traits?
That'll be Hunter and Rise to battle.
Okay.
Imperium sword is
Thank you. Just making sure, because the Battle Scribe to TTS app apparently put as the Imperium sword or something.
Yeah. I
Okay.
don't know why it's still there.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Right.
Thank you. All right. Cool. Problem solved.
I just wish I could
Yeah.
trade.
So, good stuff. Let's move right along. You're welcome, Pants. Okay, and thank you for being the judge, by the way. So, all things considered, the movement's happening about as you'd expect. Niall Stormcaller trying to keep it as hidden as possible with these Assault Intercessors, granting him the character rule protection that he so desperately needs. He's within psychic ability. He's within psychic power ability of several of his squads, as expected. We're not going to see a whole lot of immediate action this turn that isn't going to involve, like the minor amount of movement we had. Yeah, that's the end of the movement phase. What do you know? So, right now, Psychic phase, I'm going to go ahead and turn on our brave friends here on Discord.
What's this one? Psychic, yeah. I think this one is objective cleared as well. I just realized.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
Okay. That I should have checked that before.
I'm just gonna have a check. I don't know. Never mind. It doesn't say it's anywhere.
I think priority my targets is actually objective. Don't actually have to hold it.
Yeah, you have to actually hold them. Yep, never mind. I was thinking of a different one.
Okay. Anyways, I'll
Go
start
for it.
with Hurricane on your
Yep.
big stomper there. Goes off on a 7. Easy.
So he fights last, and he can't overwatch, right?
Indeed.
Okay.
And without the fight first, he also cannot intervene. Which good for me.
He can't intervene. Oh, heroically, the interruption. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, not
I thought I couldn't do a heroic intervention.
That's a big,
That'll be,
cast.
its own special kind of bad.
No,
Yeah.
interrupt is brutal.
Yep, okay.
And I can't really use my other powers, so I'll just use Stormcaller.
Yep.
Goes off an 8. That is good for everybody. And yeah.
Okay. So
Shooting.
Yep.
I'll start down here with all these reminders. First off,
This is going to be the majority of the shooting.
Forward. Everything, which is range, which is just plasma relay, into Armiger will be overcharging.
okay.
Overcharging, but there's no rerolls.
Just for increasing the chance, I am going to put on command point for rotate iron shields. Give him 4 up invul.
Sound defensive
Shots,
choice.
big 6.
Oh. Okay.
Love to see it. Now let's roll nothing but 3s and 2s. There we go.
And
Wait,
winning on
now
3s.
Oh,
Oh. Okay.
That is.
Alright, first
that
Redemptor is a
actually pretty
miss.
good,
Bit
but-
of a whiffer there.
Yeah.
This guy can fire a lot more things, everything
Yep.
except the Brag Storms. That's a target.
Yep.
5 shots. Let's see.
Pretty
if he
good
uses
roll
it.
this time.
I guess no.
Let's see if they manage to a couple more hits
3
here.
once.
Okay, one more hit.
No one so far.
Yep.
They need some
Pretty bad.
wounds this time, though.
Oh.
Oh no! This is a
Oh
whiffer!
my god, no.
Oh, this is a big whiffer!
Yeah.
Okay.
Should on reeling wants to wound. Okay, Icarus.
Right.
Some shots, minimum damage. Oh, that's the one there. Yep, that dance train is definitely
And
doing the job.
force.
Yep.
Okay,
Look,
that's
wound.
it.
An actual wound
-1,
with the Icarus
so-
rocket pod.
4 up.
Passes.
Saves it.
The ion shield blocks it. The missile comes careening
Yeah.
through the air
Okay.
and just impacts nothing but
that's
energy.
1 force too many. The Gatling Cannon.
Alright,
Oh,
so the reason why they're re-rolling ones is because there's a
On
stratagem
fives.
used to give one of them captain re-rolls for the turn.
Okay.
As you can see.
No, that's no wounds. I don't even know why I
No.
rolled that. Sorry.
That's fine.
Any other weapons? No, nothing in range. So.
That's it. Yep.
And third Redemptor. So
Two
far,
Redemptors, zero
not
damage.
good.
See if the third one can do anything.
He's
Nice
rolling
one.
like I do. 4 shots. So there's been a decreasing number of shots, but similar number of hits. Okay. Actually 2 wounds.
Okay.
Okay, so that's actually good.
One.
Because these are 3 damage
Okay.
a pop, I think.
There we go. 3. It is 4 up invul.
He spends a CP to re-roll it.
Come on.
Oh no!
Ooh, that's 3 damage each, right?
That brings
Yes,
the
it is.
damage back.
It's not worth it because he's just gonna kill him. Nah, I'll take it.
That's the
9
full
damage, goes down to
9
3.
damage. The Redemptor at the front doing the work of 2 other Redemptors by itself. Good job, brother Indeterminus.
No hits.
No hits.
Can't you reroll the 1?
I can, but I do not want to.
Ah, fair enough.
Just in case. Okay, then the onslaught.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, also Gatling Cannon going in. Has 3 wounds. That could be the end of the
Alright,
Armiger.
4
Not
ups.
what he wants, actually.
Does he die?
He wants him to die here, actually.
He does not.
He's
still
down to
got
1
wound,
wound, which is actually perfect. Just
Balls.
stop
Yeah,
shooting.
you shouldn't have rotated the iron shields.
Stop shooting!
Oh well.
Okie doke.
Perfect luck by the end of it. So,
well,
the reason
1 out of
why
3
the
is actually
Armiger
good
does
damage.
not want to
I'll take
die
that.
here is... If the Armiger died, there would be no way for this captain to go in and charge, kill the Warglaive, and then take the objective from our Knight friend. Which would mean that, honestly, it's a bad time. So we're in the charge phase. Let's go ahead and listen to our players, see how it works. Does the plan come to fruition? These guys are definitely going to charge in over here. The captain's definitely going to
So I'll
charge in
start
onto the
with
southeastern
the
flank. We're going to have the Incursions
Uh-huh.
potentially charge the Questora's Knight, but I doubt it. The
very
Blade
much
Guard
get in
veterans
there.
definitely, though.
Oh yeah.
Goes up to a 12 even.
So I'll just do whatever I want because I'm a space marine.
Easy roll there. Because it can't skill a hate.
Just gonna put them like whatever for now, since I can just pile in a lot more.
Alright, and now the objective is officially in Space Marine hands as long as these 2 Blade Guard veterans stay on there.
Sneak all level back forces for now. Then yeah, captain.
Captain
Yep.
time. This is a big one. Easy in, no problem.
It's a
9-inch charge means he can wrap all the way around and then hide behind this piece of obscuring terrain, which makes it nearly impossible for the Knights to be able to get on this next turn unless if an Armiger Warglaive goes around and charges him. And that's
Oh, right,
also going to be
returns it.
tough.
Yep. Okay.
Now,
Alright.
he's probably going to start with the captain to make sure the Armiger Warglaive doesn't intervene.
And since you cannot interrupt with this knight, but you can interrupt with the Armiger, I will fight with my Wolf Lord first.
Yep.
Also, just in case, these guys got getting +1 wounds. Can't remember when the strategy was used, but they're getting it now.
Okay.
Now, the Wolf Lord has how many attacks of charge? He has 6.
7?
No, 7. Yeah. 2
Yeah.
claws.
2 from the class, 1 from main range. Yep, 7.
He's hit most of the times.
That'll be
He's wounded on 5s,
Wounded
re-rolling
on
everything, unless if he's got that +1 to wound that I heard earlier.
5s.
Okay, so 6 wounds at AP -2. That would
Minus
cut through his
2,
armor.
so that's 6 ups. Can I roll 4 6 ups?
He has no invulnerable
What?
save here in close combat. It only works against ranged for knights.
Give me all the 6s.
None of them. The Armiger Warglaive dies
Do I want
horribly
to try
here
and can-
as the
get
Frost
this
Claws
close?
tear him apart from the legs down.
So I believe you're saving on 5 ups, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's a 5 up. Whoops. Okay. I'll pay 2 command points for noble sacrifice. He explodes on a 4 up.
Oh, he might explode.
Let's see if I can deal some damage.
Oh, no. Oh, no!
Nope, never mind.
I
He
tried to
just
hope
goes.
in my head. Oh,
And
it's a
you can.
shame. Alright, so now the captain,
Just goes
who has OBSEC, by the way, thanks to Rights of War, is on this objective and is impossible to see. And in order to charge him, you have
Alright.
to go all the way around either this way or through the dense and
Mhm.
difficult ground.
Yep.
Now remember, this
I
Knight Megara
will
cannot
Take command
intervene
point for
because of this because of Njal Stormcaller.
the thingamajig.
So that's the reason why Tomonius is not using the 2CP to interrupt. He can't because he's been forced to fight last because of this fancy man with a
Just
stick
basically
here.
one model.
You can see it in his eyes.
Please keep me from moving for a bit.
Okay, Blade Guard Veteran's going in, making sure to keep
Also
2
this
models
way.
on here. Not the Sergeant, though. The
Alright.
Sergeant's over
I'll be
here, so
mighty
if he
25
decides to kill it the
attacks.
other way around, it's going to be a little bit weird.
Hitting on 2 is rolling. 6 is explode.
Yep.
That's level 1s. Everything hits, and then you have a few explosions. Okay, and
Mhm.
now I'll be putting you on 4s.
That's a lot of
That
wins.
is way more than average.
Yep.
No, that was.
Alright. 4-ups.
This is tough. 4 up and vulnerable save for the Night Megara though.
Oh,
shit.
No!
This is...
4, 5, 6,
That's
7,
2 damage
8, 9,
each.
10, 11. That's 22
I am going to
damage.
pay command point to reroll at least one of those.
That is 22 damage. I think.
Nope. He takes 22 damage.
Holy crap! Blackguard veterans do what they are meant to do. Holy cow!
That came really close to killing.
Oh yeah.
Picture in
Okay,
picture, please. I'd love to, but cannot.
He gets the
My
punch back
setup
now.
is not capable of doing that yet.
He'll do
Working on it,
the
though.
smash attack. So,
I'll already spent CP for transhuman.
yep, makes sense.
All right, so the
So-
Night Megara fighting back.
He'll be hitting on 5s now.
Oof. Wow!
Okay.
That's still really
That's
good,
what
though.
I
That's
expected.
still really good.
Uh-huh.
Now, moving on
And
4s is the
On
important bit.
4s now.
Yeah, because of transhuman. Oh no!
That does stop quite a lot.
Transhuman does so
2
much work
AP.
there. Okay, 4 up invulns. It does kill 1.
That's
Is
3 damage.
Yep. Do I reroll that? No. I'll just small here.
He's got 6 command points. No, he's not gonna reroll it. That's fine.
Okay.
Wow! What a punch!
Alright. That's the fighting done.
So, let's go ahead and talk about what
Yes.
happened there.
3.4.
The Bladeguard veterans were definitely given the abilities necessary to be able to get extra hits on 6s in the while in the assault doctrine. They're counted as being the assault doctrine in this phase. That's the only way that worked out the way that it did. That's the only way it could have worked out. Tomonius is now in a very strange
I will
situation,
spend
but he is Questor Mechanicus, so
one
all these
command
guys
point
that were
to
damaged were
have
going to get, him.
Megara
He's going to get a wound back.
operate top brackets.
And he's being told to work on top brackets. So, the Bladeguard veterans aren't out of it yet. They aren't out of the woods, and there's going to be a couple of things charging this turn. Now, that said, there's going to be a couple more things coming down this turn, and he has to be careful of Amagic's ability to just be like, hey, I've got 20 Wolf Guard.
Okay.
Now, at the end of the turn, Tomonius did score 5 points for the primary. He did not score grind them down. He's looking to get priority targets in Stranglehold. Stranglehold is going to be tough because he needs to wipe out all the Bladeguard veterans, or at least get enough of them gone that he controls the center objective again. And he needs to make sure that this captain's dead. He's already starting to be spread thin, and the Space Wolves don't even have 20 of their models on the table. The Night Megara is going to fall back. He's working at top bracket, thanks to his stratagem right now, into the dense terrain to make him harder to charge and harder to shoot, except, oh wait, he's huge. He doesn't benefit from either of the from dense cover. So never mind that then.
Get some wound back, because
The BGV are unlikely to survive with the Knights shooting on full profile. Agreed. And keep in mind, there's still a Castellan hiding out behind here. As soon as those Wolfguard come down, the Castellan's going to absolutely do its best to make sure it wipes out at least a couple of them. There is a lot of firepower in this Knight list. Especially because they're House Raven.
this Warglaive.
Alright, the Warglaives are moving forward, getting ready to charge some Bladeguard veterans. Now, there's no way to force the Bladeguard veterans to fight last here. They're just going to have to hope that 2 Warglaives plus the extra shooting that they need to is going to be enough to charge and kill the Bladeguard veterans in the middle here. Did that Warglaive make it onto the point? Not quite, no. He's just a little bit shy.
Let's see if we
Okay, the Castellan.
get the Knight Castellan.
This is a tough call because the Castellan needs to start doing stuff this turn. If he doesn't, it's going to be a bad day. But at the same time, exposing yourself too much could result in some serious problems, especially if he's not screening out his backfield, which right now is very exposed. It's still not the right call. You want to make sure that you're using your Canticle of Hate to guarantee some charges, but this is a very safe place to just drop, be obscured, and then next turn be a problem, because the Knights can't really go back here.
4 inches. Then too far. Here. And then
Yeah, so now he's poking out. So this poking out by the Castellan can see exactly one thing on the board right now, and that's it. It's just these Blade Guard veterans. He's going to make sure to do a lot of damage to them. He can also see, by the tip of his gun, this front Redemptor Dreadnought. So I expect that the Redemptor Dreadnought should die, and the Blade Guard veterans are going to be in trouble. Let's go ahead and listen to the players a little bit more.
We'll start with this Knight Megara. He will fire... I think he's too far away for the... Yep. Okay, so... Edge to edge. Okay, he'll fire his Plasma Fusel and his Lightning Cannon into the Blade Guards.
There are your lists, folks, just in
We'll
case you need
start
them.
with the Plasma.
Right.
One
Plasma's not in
hit,
rapid fire range,
wounding
so
on 3.
it wounds. AP minus 3, so it's
One
definitely
wound onto your invul.
definitely on the invul. It is a pass though. The shields
That's
hold
fine.
firm.
And then we get a Lightning Cannon.
Hey, I heard you guys like this is zapping
Hit on
times.
3s, 6s, double explodes.
Oofersons.
Okay, so nothing, and then wounding on 3s again.
This must be the Knight Megara back here.
Only 2 against your invul.
All
Okay.
right. Do they pass though?
That's 3 damage each.
That would be 2 dead Blade Guard then if he rolled this the 2 and the 3.
Sure.
2 die, unsurprisingly.
Okay.
Now, at this point, Tomonius needs to be careful not to kill the Blade Guard veterans, just to badly wound them enough that the
Then
armor
we
go
have
on
the
there,
Knight Castellan, who
and
will
then charge
fire,
them and kill them. Otherwise,
uh,
they can't get Stranglehold. It's very tricky.
So I think he'll fire the Siege Breaker cannons and the Volcano Lance already into the Redemptor.
This would be the
His,
time where if I was playing on tabletop, there'd be like guns and blasts going across the table. Choo 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 choo, boom 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 boom.
Calls Ref will also go into him. We will supercharge it, and we'll keep the Shield Breaker missile for now.
Okay.
So basically everything into the Redemptor with the supercharged Calls Ref,
This is going to
just
hurt.
for good measure.
And remember, these guys
So
are House
Calls
Ravens.
Ref 2d6 gets 8 shots, hitting on 3. Oh, okay. And wounding on
Okay.
3. Bit less, but fine. It's -4.
Okay.
No save.
So that'll be
3 damage each.
Down to
Down
2 damage each.
to
So
2.
that's 10 damage off of Call's Wrath alone. The Redemptor's
Okay.
down to 3.
This is going to be a tremendous overkill. Okay, Volcano Lance. We'll do that one. Because it's fun. D6 shots. Oh, only 2.
Is there any point to staying on the objective? Yes, to force the
hitting on
opponent
3s.
to,
And
have to
wounding
deal
on
with them.
2s. 1 wound, -5. And then 3d3 damage.
3d3 damage incoming. He just needs to roll a 4 or higher.
That's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's
5
it.
damage.
It's the end of the Redemptor. He is super dead. He does not explode. That's the end of that
Explode.
Redemptor.
Okay.
Boom. That's a big deal.
And
Getting one of those down is nice. Now the trick is how many of these thermal spears is
next
he
up,
going to dedicate
then
to the Blade
his,
Guards.
his Siege Breaker cannons go to waste.
And this Megara also has some
The Warglaives.
juicy shooting too.
First Warglaive will fire everything into the Blade Guard vets.
Alright, let's see how it works out. Thermal
Thermal
Lance.
Spear
With a
gets
spear.
1 shot, hitting on 3.
That's actually good. It hits. Wounds
and
on a
wounding
2.
on 2.
That's not good.
Nothing. Alright, then the
He's got
stubber
plenty of
goes
CP too. He could re-roll these.
on 3s. On 3s,
Time
not
for
4s.
subs.
And 4.
One wound.
Only
okay.
1, no AP, so you get 2 up.
Easy save, no problem. All right, now the other one.
Alright,
He needs
and
to
then
kill
Thermal
just
Spear.
one. One shot, that's
Only
fine.
1 shot on 3.
It hits. He just needs
And
to
on
roll
2.
better. Good. Okay. 4 up invuln. Passes.
And you
Okay.
save it, of course. And the stubber.
Like I said, this is difficult because he doesn't want to kill both
Threes
of
and fours
them.
again.
He wants to kill like one to make it real easy. Two might not die to the attacks
Okay.
from the Armiger Warglaive. Especially because these guys aren't crest.
And we get this Megara. Let's see. He'll fire his lightning cannon.
This is a tough one.
Don't really want to kill them yet. Want to charge them.
Ideally, you'd want
Okay.
to start exposing some of these characters somehow, or removing
He'll
some of these
fire-
things. But
The lightning cannon into the assault intercessors.
a good call.
His
I agree with that.
red cleanser will go into the. His red cleanser will go into the blade guard vets,
I mean, yep, that makes sense. Just
and
hopefully
the
he doesn't
plasma
have too bad luck.
fusel will go. Will also go into the assault intercessors.
That's absolutely true, Pants. That's
Nope.
absolutely true.
No, it'll go into the incursors.
But he wants to make sure that there's only one, so that way one of them can't. Like, if they somehow both
Start with
survive,
plasma
they
fusel.
can't just pile on and stop him from holding the objective.
4 hits and wounding on 3.
Because he's got a bit. Because having Stranglethorn,
wounds
Stranglethorn,
-3.
Stranglehold, he needs that objective now.
6 times. Hey, you make one.
Saves 1. Okay. 2 go down.
So 2 of these incursors are now dead from the plasma fusel. Pew pew.
Then twin red cleanser into the
This is important. He
Blade
wants
guards.
to kill 1. 7.
7
Perfectly
shots.
average number of hits.
Wounding on 2s. 6. No AP, 3 damage. So 1 goes
He
down.
could get Stranglehold.
You go down.
Oh, you're right, because the captain back here, who he completely ignored.
Perfectly calculated.
Could reroll that, but
Alright, so that kills exactly 1 Blade Guard veteran. Perfect, exactly what he needed.
That's gonna be it for shooting, yeah.
Did he shoot the assault intercessors?
no, it's wasting me. Okay. All right.
And then he still gets his lightning cannon.
There we go.
Into the assault
I
intercessors.
was wondering about that.
More people need to die before your blood loss is saved.
Can the Mario
Yep.
make the charge on the rightmost objective? Yes, but he'd have to wrap around all the
Okay,
way
so
here
that's-
and deal with the -2.
These 2, and then 2 more. So we get 10 hits.
Oh
Wounding
my
on
goodness.
3s.
That's quite a lot.
8 minus 2.
Why was?
They are super dead. Every one of the
That's
assault
spot
intercessors
on.
is
Yep.
dead, which means that Niall Stormcaller has no backup where he is right now, and is perfectly is perfectly alone.
And
Even the
that is my
chaplain
shooting
here is a
done.
little alone right now. Now there are 2 big squads of Blade Guard
so now
veterans.
we
Sorry,
will charge.
Wolf Guard
The-
veterans, but let's see.
First Armiger will charge into the blade guards.
Okay, as expected, really. That makes sense. Take the objective. Cool,
Gets
that's
a
the 7.
7.
That's nice and good.
Second Warglaive will also charge into him.
Gotta make sure that he's dead, so that makes perfect sense. A 5
5.
might make it. Yeah, 5 makes it.
More than that.
Gets in there just. And now I want to charge with the Megara. Problem is he's probably going to die either way next turn, so might as well try and get something in.
Yeah, that makes good sense. You could charge both of these guys and try to kill
Yeah,
off the chaplain.
He'll charge Sternhammer and the Incurser squads.
That makes good sense. The reason why it makes good sense is because if he can kill the chaplain, then those Wolfguard veterans have
It's
a
a
hard time
5.
getting off of there. A 5 down to a 3 is
think
not going
it's
to be enough to
enough.
make it, though.
It
He's gonna need to
is
reroll
not.
that.
Do I want to reroll that? I only have 5 CP left. Nah.
Do it. You must have less AP than I do.
Nope. I'll let it be like that.
Okay, he's not going to reroll the charge. The Knight Megara's going to sit
Okay.
right where it is.
Then we start fighting.
Alright, Warglaive time.
The first Warglaive
Going in for the cleave attacks to get that flat 3
is
damage, I
going
assume.
to do. Do I have to declare my type of attacks I do first, or do you get to do transhuman first? Do you know?
You have to declare an attack first.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Well, bugger.
All he needs is 1 failed save off of these chain glaives. If he goes for the smash attack.
Yeah, we'll go with the strike attack.
Alright.
which is the big attack. And he wounds on 2s and does flat 3 damage.
Yeah, hit me. I can take it.
Okay.
All right.
Human then. Oh, okay. Came out of nowhere. Alright. On 3s and on 2s.
So no transhuman here.
2. Of course.
All right.
2.
Chances are,
Counter invul.
Bladeguard is dead. Bladeguard's dead.
Goes down.
No CP wasted. That makes
I
perfect
can
sense.
Consolidate.
Now, at this point, you want to consolidate. Probably take up as much room as possible to avoid the Wolf Guard from being able to get down anywhere they want to. This Armiger Warglaive is going to be able to
Try and
pile in and
block off a
consolidate
bit
a
of the,
total of 6 inches. But where, we'll have to see.
Put him here,
And Knights are indeed free of the -2 penalty.
Put him
Okay,
here.
my bad.
and he will consolidate.
Alright, so the Armiger Warglaives pile in, consolidate, get on the
So it is
objective.
slightly more difficult for you to get on point.
But this is still a problem because the Chaplain's still alive. And that's going, like, unless if those Wolf
Alright,
Guard fail their
that's
charges,
it.
this is going to be a brutal turn.
Is there any morale to be done? I think your incursions are fine, right?
Yeah, they're fine. They also have a challenge.
Yeah, they're leadership
Right,
9
yeah,
right
the
now due to the
leadership of the
chaplain being nearby.
So that's fine. So I scored 3 points for priority targets, no stranglehold, and I killed 3 units for grind them down.
Yes, you did.
Yep.
That's gonna be a tall order to beat.
Yeah. Well,
Alrighty.
I've seen people do it. So
Let's see how this goes. So it's now bottom of turn 2, Amagic's turn. It's time for the Space Wolves to come back into this. There aren't a lot of models left on the table. Fair enough. But there are 20 more models left to come on to the table. We'll have to see what happens. The Chaplain here is absolutely vital. Wherever the Chaplain goes, at least one squad of Wolfguard is going to go with them. And I imagine that their priority right now is to do 2 things. 1, kill this Knight Megara, and 2, wipe out everything here in the middle. They absolutely need to make sure those 2 things happen, because the Knight Megara, if it gets another chance to just live, that's going to wreak havoc. It's going to easily kill everything here on its own, charge, kill a whole bunch of stuff here, contest an objective, maybe even kill Niall by itself. And there'll still be a knight, another Castellan, and another Knight Megara back here. So the Space Wolves are at a bit of a tipping point. Now, they can deal with those things. There's enough shooting to be able to kill the Knight Megara if these 2 Redemptor Dreadnoughts just back up and use their plasma cannons and stuff to deal with that. One of them can even go forward and try to deal with the Armiger Warglaives with punching instead. And they still have, again, 20 Wolfguard veterans, which will be more than enough with the boost that they can get, with that Space Wolves can give them, to be able to tear apart these 2 Armiger Warglaives and take this objective back, win some points for Stranglehold, and take it easy. Now, I'm going to go ahead and predict that that's what's going to happen, but let's see if my prediction's correct. Let's listen to the players.
Do we need to shoot that
There we go, Redemptor Dreadnoughts falling back, making sure they can get line of sight on this Questoris Knight Megara, and some line of sight on an Armiger here. Nice. Oh, no, just one of them gets line of sight on the Megara then. On the Warglaive then. That's fine. What's Niall gonna do? Also, importantly, this Redemptor is now on the objective, and will be very difficult to see by any other knights next turn, unless if the Castellan moves back here. That might work.
He's also gonna advance. One more.
Niall Stormcaller is going to advance to get a little bit further and stay closer to his Redemptors, so that way he can stay alive, since his bodyguard of Assault Intercessors are now dead. Now, the trick is, where does this Chaplain go? He could stay where he is, or he could fall back here and then have everybody deep strike around him.
Just you.
We'll have to see. I think that so long as the lines of sight are played well, the Castellan's not going to be a super big
Okay, I have a
problem,
plan.
especially because he can't move through this
It's a
gap.
bad
Like, his
plan.
base is too fast.
But I like bad plans.
but a plan nonetheless.
Yes. It has the clinical definition of a plan. So that's good enough for me. Right. This Wolf Lord. I'll just move a bit more to make it difficult for you to...
Alright, so the Wolf Lord is literally like just being a nuisance by sitting on this objective and guaranteeing stranglehold for the rest of the game, pretty much. This is gonna be interesting.
Wait.
Like, it really does depend entirely on the Wolfguard veterans. If the Wolfguard veterans have a good time, then this will be fine. If they don't, we're in a bad spot. For the Space Wolves, anyway. Like, don't get me wrong, Tomonius would be thrilled. Tomonius has played really well so far with his knights, making sure that he's got enough chaff knights to kind of be a problem. But, whoa, what's he doing? Oh, is that the end of the movement phase? Are we bringing down the Wolfguard now? He seems to be. Let's take a look. Those circles are perfect. So he just needs to bring these down. Canticle of Hate has gone off in order for this to work, or he's waited until later to be able to use the CP to guarantee it going off, which is definitely a thing I would have done.
So I can't really use
Wolflord, okay, Gorkin385 says Wolflord has been resigned to objective holding duty. Yep, it's pretty funny.
Immobility is so annoying. There's a lot of ways to be on a lot of things.
Yeah, so there, down they go. I'm not sure why he necessarily feels the need to flip the chaplain over. He doesn't exactly go over his base much. But the Wolfguard are coming down. I see what he's doing. Okay. He's planning ahead right now, moving the chaplain back, so that way he can go ahead and have access to different options. Right now, the important thing for this chaplain is where is he going, and then when his auras go off, if they haven't already, who's going to be benefiting from it and where. So he's expecting to kill the Knight Megara through the shooting phase, it seems like. He's not setting up his Wolfguard to charge the Knight Megara at all. He is, in fact, instead, setting them up in such a way as to be able to deal with the Armiger Warglaves. At which point, once they do that, they're going to be in a bit of a pickle, because there's a Knight Castellan and a Knight Megara ready to shoot them, but there will be very few things left on the field for Tomonius left to do anything. In fact, just 2 Knights is not enough to actually hold enough objectives to be happy from there on out. Yeah, no, this is going to be brutal. If Amagic gets the 3 kills he's looking for this turn, I'm pretty sure that's game over for the Knights, and Tomonius is looking for points at that point. Yes, that made sense. Okay, so Contender 2. Let's see. You got priority targets. You got Stranglehold last turn. You raised the banners and got 2 points for that this turn. And your score has gone up by 25, plus another 6, puts you up to 31, plus another 2, puts you up to 33 points, if my count is correct. Yeah! I like being smart. One of these days we're going to have something that's not manual putting in pointage.
All the murders taken on the Megara.
Yep.
Goes off on 6.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be that.
I think he can still fire Overwatch because he's wholly within the terrain feature.
What?
Because that's what it says on the rule for Murderous Hurricane.
Oh yeah, you can do that. Nice.
Okay.
Hey!
Don't worry, I will die. It'll be fine.
Just making sure.
That's a pretty big deal. Good use of terrain there. That's something I didn't realize that Murderous Hurricane had a hard time dealing with.
So, I'll start with the Backward Enter. We'll fire everything with the Megara. Plasma is in range once again.
It's all in the plasma. Do we want to risk it? Keep going to charge after that.
We knew this was going to be a savage game from the start, and this is definitely proving why Knights are in a bit of a tricky position.
What?
I didn't measure the distance from Megara for my deep strike.
Oh, right.
I think I might be too close. Oh, just a little bit.
I think they're just fine.
No.
Yeah, that's fine. It's like that 1 inch isn't gonna. We'll say it's 9 inches.
It's good. We'll say it's 9 inches. Yep, fair enough.
5 CP.
It's not going to matter if he dies in shooting anyways. Agreed. And it's not like he benefits from the dense cover or anything. So it's just a 4-up invuln saved Knight at this point.
Plasma death incoming, if I can even hit you. Okay, that's going to be 4 shots, hitting on 4s.
No, on 3s, because he's too big for dense cover.
Really?
Yeah. Really? All right.
18 or higher, don't get Discover.
Alright, that'll be 3 wounds then, please.
Yep.
If you fail, you die.
5 ups.
He dies.
He's
Even with a
down because he
reroll, that's the
explodes.
end of him. Does he blow up, though?
Please don't.
That could be a big deal.
does
Nah,
not.
that's the end of the night, Megara. If one of the secondaries was Titan Hunter, that would be 12 points already.
Alright. Then the second Redemptor is gonna fire everything into this army over there.
Alright, so the second
Yeah.
Redemptor is now going into the Armiger Warglaive to make things a bit easier for the
I
Wolf
will
Guard.
rotate Iron Shields on that one.
And it is now as a 4-up invuln save to all this stuff. So,
So starting with the
number of shots, just the one.
Uh,
Is he CP re-rolling? Yes, he is. Alright, it has to be better than 1. It is 3. That is 3 times better than 1. Rerolling the 1s because of the command point spent earlier on. Wounding on
wounding on
3s.
Yep.
2 wounds. 4-up
Four.
invuln saves needed here, or 3 damage if
4
pop goes
ups.
through.
Saves them both.
Easy. The Ion Shield kicks in. Flares to life.
Flying too close to the sun once again. Reloading 1. Is a hit. It's wounds.
It's a wound.
Nice.
4 up.
Icarus Rocket Pod does make it through. That's 2 damage.
Hits.
Ion Shield doesn't quite make it through. And now for the Gatling gun. Daka, 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 daka.
Slot. Keep those sweet reels. And
2 wounds.
Yep.
Now we are in the Tactical Doctrine, so this only has AP minus 1.
So 4 ups.
Ion Shield kicks in again.
Saves them both.
Easy! Flares to life. Just imagine the bullets impacting this energy shield. Vroom, vroom, and like ripples go across it.
can I make the most important roll in the game? Services? No. Or at least math does.
Yeah.
Ah, it's gonna suck no matter what I do. Okay.
To be fair, he's killed one knight.
Shoot. Wait.
But there are just, yeah, there's so many other secondaries that are really, really good.
Alright, yeah.
Also, question. Oh, wait, no. The Wolf Lord here is not infantry. I was going to say, could he have raised the banner? No. No, he could not have.
Nope.
Yep. Latecomer. I guess I could fire this guy, or...
Yeah.
Come on, let me use a grenade once in a while. Right, it's gonna fire Starlight.
We get 2 shots.
I do indeed. Go to the
Game
next
of
hit.
5s.
No wounds. Okay. We all know what's about to
Alright,
happen,
cool
though.
beans.
The big thing is here, can the Wolfguard make the charge?
Fuck it.
If they don't make the charge,
These guys
that's
can make back their points.
a huge problem.
Yeah, charge phase. Wolf guard. Into both your
They need
armors.
9, so 7
Yep.
on the dice because of Canticle of Hate.
They just need a 9. What an easy roll to make. 7.
It's a 7?
I have my litany!
Yeah.
1 in 6 fail. Chance to fail. Well, I have to do the CB here.
Wait,
Okay.
Litany didn't go off.
Yep, they are in.
Okay, so
Ah,
Litany did go off,
Fuck me.
but they still made the roll. That's a huge
Right.
deal.
That is the roll.
So that decides a good chunk of the game now, depending on how these on how this fight phase goes. But there should be no problem getting in the majority of these attacks.
There you go. That's gonna make it easier.
Keep forgetting we have technology for this.
And I imagine that Litany of Hate was attempted. We'll have to see if it's gone off or not. I misheard.
Alright,
Unlucky until lucky, 100%.
This is gonna hurt.
You must have failed the Litany. Yeah, that's the only way to do it.
I hope so.
I think that might have been a misplay to
offense,
rely
but I
on
hope
that
so.
to be a thing. I would have
That's fair,
100%
that's
just been like, I
completely
need
fair.
this to go off.
Okay,
I'll chant, like,
do I want to bring in the
no, I will chant nothing else if it means I will spend 1 CP to guarantee that it's
Yeah,
plus
I'll
2
bring
to
it.
charge.
Don't need
For me, like, that would have been my choice.
Maybe I'll pivot. So, incursors into your armor.
So the Incursors are going to go ahead and
Yep.
charge in as well. Eat up some space. Importantly, also allow for another,
Why am I rolling 3 dice? Fuck it.
yeah, why are you rolling 3 dice? It's very strange, Amagic.
I need 2 dice.
3 won't make it,
3,
though.
Nope. Won't work.
So that would have been handy to have
Alright.
OBSEC on there, but it's absolutely unnecessary.
Blood for the blood god. Wait, wrong army. put you back here. No. Okay, start the fight phase.
Yeah, there's nothing else that can charge in there right now. There's not enough space.
Give these guys +1 wound.
And Sternhammer is a little bit out in the open now.
And we'll start slapping away.
So, these Wolfguard need to absolutely make the business happen. They are doing only 1 damage per hit with their Lightning Claw, but there are quite a lot of Lightning Claw attacks. They are hitting on 2s. If the Litany went off, it's re-rolling 2s, and then it's wounding on 5s, re-rolling everything because of the Lightning Claws. The AP on these guys should be high enough due to, you know, I'm assuming some stratagem use.
Yep.
That they just punch through all the armor that they have. No invuln saves needed, so it'll be 6s to save. They should tear down at least 1, and if they can wrap and trap the second, that would be excellent. I think that might be the play here, is to put as many attacks into one of them as possible as to nerf them. Wrap and trap so that way they can't get attacked or shot at unless if they desperate breakout, which I mean you're desperate breakout a knight. That's pretty great. Yeah, we'll have to see. 5-inch pylon? That's actually a good question. I'm not sure why they're doing that.
It's gonna be almost even split attacks, but
yeah.
Well,
Quick
I
question,
can't
how
say
does
for
the- how
sure.
did this guy get so far?
they can pile in consolidate 6 from. Fuck me!
No,
I
you
didn't
failed
have
that one.
it. Yeah, I failed that one. Jesus, I'm so used to it. Okay.
They're gonna have to fight in ranks. There you go. There you have it. There you have it.
Yeah.
They did not reroll the litany. Yeah.
Enough models here.
I'm glad that they caught it though.
just-
It doesn't matter in the sense that they are you know, still there, but it does mean that they won't be able to wrap a trap nearly as easily.
4 command points. You've got 4 guys that are going to be able to attack.
Look at all these tiny boys.
Are you thinking of using the strategy?
You can just imagine them like,
one rank.
like busting through the wall and then jumping up to like slash
Thinking
at
if
their
it's worth
oculars,
it.
start ripping off
Yeah, but the thing
limbs
is, you
and
have to
stuff,
be
chopping off their
because
legs.
That's when I'm already activating fights.
Right, yeah. Okay, yep, you're right. Never
Chat
mind.
wins again!
I can
100%.
still move up models, but it's I can't even remember how they were anymore.
So, Leukemia Man, he re-rolled the charge roll and made a 9-inch charge.
Maybe.
He failed his litany at the
It's
very
gonna be-
beginning of it all.
21 attacks into the 10 health one, and 20 attacks into the other one.
Okay, so there's 20 attacks going to each one of them. I don't think that kills either one, but it will
Yep.
severely weaken both. Unless if we're extremely lucky because of the exploding 6s and stuff. Rerolling because the litany of hate went off,
Okay, not amazing.
and then exploding 6s happened. So 23 hits out of 21 attacks.
On force because +1 wound.
There's a +1 to wound in there. I'm not sure from where.
Why do your 6s explode again?
Because they're in the assault doctrine from Instinct Spoken.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay.
Alright, so that's 17 wounds.
-2?
AP -3.
-3. Because again, assault
So
doctrine.
you need 6s
Right,
to
okay.
survive. Each one of these does the damage.
6s.
Alright.
On average, he's dead.
Yep.
He is very
so
dead.
that's that one down. Because he explodes. He does
No,
not.
no explosion. Okay, so that's one armiger just dead.
And then 20 from the other.
Alright, 20 attacks. Rerolling the ones because of Litany of Hate. Ends up with not just 20 hits, but 25 hits. Wounding on 4s is +1 to wound. Rerolling everything because of the Lightning Claws.
Rolling.
Not as strong. It's only 15. He only needs a couple of 6s to survive here.
6s.
And by a couple, I mean like 3. 4 of them. He needs 4 6s. That's above average rolling, but it's certainly possible.
Yep.
Wow!
Yep, you actually lived.
He lives with 2 wounds!
That's
He'll be
good.
able to attack back or do something.
Takes point away.
But it also comes
Yeah.
at a cost. There's a I think there's a
That
chance
is
he gets
fair.
wrapped and trapped. No, mathematically, never mind. It's not possible. But the knight does somehow survive, which is very cute. I'm not sure if it matters much, actually. But we'll have to see. The Armigers so far have done very little this game, sadly. Yeah, Pants, the irony is pretty sick.
Alright. He gets the punch back.
He's hitting on 5s, wounding on 2s against Storm Shields. He's
Some
maybe
good
going to
sweep attack.
kill, like... Oh, he's going for the sweep.
Yeah, we'll do the sweep attack.
Alrighty.
Hitting on 5s.
So he's hitting on 5s, wounding on 3s, if I remember
2.
correctly.
And winning on 3s. Okay.
So the armor does nothing.
Just
Bounces.
be certain. I don't hate you. God does. In a really cool way.
So, like, yeah. Effectively, the Wolf Guard have jumped through, bashed through a wall, jumped up, slashed one of them apart entirely. It fell backwards, like, you
I
know,
think that's it.
a smoking ruin. This one is, like,
Alright,
got a bunch of its cables ripped
yes.
off, like, half of its foot is gone, the oculars all torn
So I
apart.
do get grind them down.
But, yeah.
You get priority targets and stranglehold. And
So you
my
get one
turn.
primary.
Can you hand it over back to me?
Oh yeah. Shooting, fighting, mullet.
I do indeed hold 1 primary. So, let's just stay with that.
It's an auspicious start.
And then we go. Right. Okay, so start moving. The Warglaive is going to fall back, I believe.
Sorry, 1 second, folks. Just changing up the scores to be reflective of what's going on.
Go first to the Castellan.
Okay, so the Castellan's moving out.
We can move 10.
Trying to get line of sight on things that matter. In this case, the Wolf Guard. 100% the right choice.
Some nice line of sights.
And also has access to one of the Dreadnoughts and... Well, not Njal, because he's too close to the other Redemptor. But he'll be able to potentially kill a Redemptor and do some damage to these Wolf Guard.
Take control of the middle first.
These Knight Megaras, this Knight Megara and the Castellan really have to pull through this turn, though. The paint job is absolutely ruined. Yup. That failure to take the last 2 wounds off the Warglaive gave Tomonius grind for that round. That's true. Yep, it should be Deathwatch versus Necrons tomorrow.
Back with the Warglaive. So we get some shooting in.
So the Warglaive has fallen back.
I am.
And I'd admittedly be super tempted at this point to use the cut them down strat, because he would have 10 dice to roll 2 6s on, just for laughs. But he does only have 5 CP left.
Now the question for the Megara.
Those claws were dipped in LA is totally awesome.
This way. Let's shoot those guys. Okay.
So the Knight Megara has to do some work here. The Thunderclaw can do some decent damage to these Wolfguard. Instead, he's moving them out over here. He won't be able to see the captain from there, though. Unless he moves all the way over. This captain is
this
a
way,
huge
touching
nuisance.
the ruins, so we can shoot through them.
Aha! There we go. Yeah. So if he touches the ruins, that makes a lot more sense. So the captain will die today.
Can you see the
That's the plan.
Wolfguards?
Can't blame him.
He
No.
cannot.
Yeah, there's no way.
Wow.
So-
Really?
Yeah. You get this annoying corner here because they're not touching the terrain. I'll advance him.
Yep.
Whoop. Oh, it's
Gets
a
to
big
go on
advance
6.
roll!
And I just
Oh, this baby
remembered
can see anything.
the Warglaive gets to go up to 3 wounds. 6. Come on, measure.
Okay, now he can see the
All
wolf guard.
Ranulf needs to do is 1v1 on my gear. That'll be fun.
Okay.
And it's worth mentioning that the Space Wolves now are
That's
definitely in the
movement
Assault
on.
Doctrine.
So now we'll start shooting. I'll begin with the Megara.
Okay, interesting saucy
He's
decision.
going to fire
The Wolf Guard
his,
have to die this turn. If they don't, it's a problem.
his Twin Red Cleanser into Ranulf.
Makes good sense. He's only got a 3-up save.
The plasma fusel
It kind of has to go into Randolph as well, I think.
also go into Ranulf, and the lightning cannon will go into the Wolf Gods.
Alright, that makes good sense. Okay, that makes a lot of good sense.
Really
Good
not
choices, I
regretting
think.
Not taking the hammer and shield here.
He needs to make sure that this Wolf Lord is dead
Okay. Red
without
Cleanser
having to charge would be ideal.
gets 6 shots.
So Rad Cleanser
wounding
doing what
on
it's supposed to
twos.
do. Wounding on 2s automatically because that's what radiation weaponry does.
Oh, balls. Okay. No AP, 3 damage.
3
He
ups.
fails 1, so he takes 3 damage onto his captain. It's down to 3 wounds
Okay.
left.
Takes 3 damage.
Now for the plasma
then we
fusel.
get the Plasma Fusel,
That's
hitting
life cycle
on-
is sweating. Yep. A little.
hitting on 3s.
3 hits, that's all he needs.
He's got
Toughness 5, so it should be
and
wounding on 3s.
wounding on 3s again. 3 wounds,
This
minus
could kill
3.
him. It does not down to
damage.
1 HP
2.
left.
Down to 1 health.
God damn it.
It'll have to be a charge, so he'll
Okay.
have to spend the Night Lance ability to charge after advancing.
Then
Lightning lock.
the lightning
Time for
cannon
Zappy Days.
into the wolves.
Zap time.
We'll see. Hitting on 3s.
3s, exploding 6s though.
Well, I rolled 2 6s, which is decent.
Decent begins to start putting
And
it. He
I
had
will
8
be
shots
wounding
and got 11
on
hits.
3s. Okay.
Every
minus
single
2.
one of these.
So,
So
that's
4 up in
rainfall.
bones. Every one of these that fails is a dead wolf guard. That's 4 of them dead.
and that's 3 damage each.
Yep, so each one is a kill.
Yep.
Yep, not gonna spend any CP yet because you have a bunch of other stuff to
Oh, and
shoot
somebody's
off.
getting a phone call. A little bit of a FaceTime call there. But yeah, no, that's a decent number of dead wolf guard. It's a good start.
Cover, because it may be used as
They need to knock them down
Okay.
at least another 2 models to be totally sure that they're not going to be super effective anymore, though. In my opinion.
And then the Castellan is
Now-
going to supercharge his Call's Wrath into the Redemptor.
Has to. Has to.
The Volcano Lance also goes into the Redemptor.
Makes sense. But now he needs to put in something into his
And
wolf guard. What else does he have?
quick look. There's no way they're in 12.
Siegebreaker cannons?
And the 2 twin Siegebreaker cannons will go into the Wolf Guards.
Just love this big thing stepping around the corner. Suddenly, like, lances of laser and fire just go like
Call's Wrath.
fume, fume,
2d6
and like a bunch of
shots.
deca from the shoulders. Anyway,
Oh.
it's really cool.
I'll spend a command point to reroll that.
Yeah, you will.
There we go. Gets 9 shots. Much better.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Hitting on
6.
3s
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
and wounding on 3s. Come on. Okay. Minus 4, so that's 2 damage each.
down to 5.
Alright.
Isn't there a
Volcano
House Raven
Lance.
strat that allows you to like reroll all your dice or
2d6
something?
shots.
Does this just not work on the
No
Castellan?
ones. No.
Gets 5.
Anyway. Time for some blasting,
And wounding on 2s.
because Volcano Lance said so.
I'm pretty sure he's
I
dead.
think he's dead.
Just bring him damage. Okay. Does he explode?
I sure hope so.
No.
No.
That is the end of another Redemptor,
Alright.
though, which means the ability to deal
I
with
get
the
the shield
Castellan
breaker
is starting
cannons.
to diminish.
I'm gonna roll them together if that's okay with you. 2d3 shots. That's 3 shots. And 4 shots. So 7.
Yep, so
Okay.
Hitting on 3s and wounding on 3s.
Wait, is that all the Siegebreaker cannons do?
3 at minus 1.
So 3's to save here. There's a guy in cover, so that makes it 2s. Pass. Fails. That guy's probably
That's
hurt.
d3 damage.
Oh, he might not even die.
Okay.
He does die.
Takes 2
Okay,
damage.
okay. Tomonius.
Not 3 up. Okay.
And
Just
he's close.
my dice.
Alright, so
Yep.
Tomonius does manage to get a couple more kills. These Wolfguard aren't without teeth anymore, but they are certainly on the... They are certainly a lot weaker than they
that's
used to
all
be.
the shooting done.
Now the Knight Megara has to spend the time, has to
far
spend the points to go ahead and
charge?
charge in. If he doesn't,
Probably
it's
gonna be like
just
7.
giving him an objective for free. They're definitely bloody. Yeah, in D&D terms, 100% bloodied.
That's going to be 7.
He needs to charge him and kill him, though, in order to get him off the objective and hold this. And force, like, effectively have a force multiplier here in the corner that would allow him to counterpunch wherever he's going.
Kind of have to.
Yeah, you do. So
I'll
2
pay
points.
2 command points to allow the Megara to charge even after advancing, and he will charge into Ranulf.
He needs a 7, according to what he said earlier. Easy
gets a
in.
9.
That's a 9. Okay, now we
Definitely
expect the
in.
captain to be dead now. Yeah, and a 7 would have made it for sure. But yeah,
Go.
the 9 was
And
helpful.
he'll
here.
start punching with the smash attack.
Time for the smash attack. Smash attack? I would have gone for the sweep.
That's 12 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s.
Yes, the pants. I would agree
That's
with you there.
not ideal.
And the Wolfguard are still more than capable of doing some real damage now that the
There we
assault
go.
doctor.
5 at your invul.
He is super dead.
Okay,
Like, that is 12
he's-
damage.
He's dead.
Yeah,
He
like
gets
the,
reduced to a small paste.
yeah, the Hecaton
Just
Siege
dead.
Claw just kind of like grips
Yep,
his
might be
bike
escape, I have no
and
idea,
just
actually.
squishes. That's the end of that.
And I'll move a bit forward again. And that's it.
For the
Does
purposes
the
of grinding them
Wolfguard
down,
have
that's
to
at least
take
2 models.
Morale?
Yes, they do.
But they are on leadership 9 because of the Vox
They
Spiritum.
lost 5. They should 9 from the chaplain. So let's roll and see.
10.
Yep, they fail.
They fail just.
So
Okay.
one runs.
One runs. Now, the rest of these are going to be combat attrition tests on 1s because they ignore modifiers to combat attrition, being Space Marines.
Then 4 more.
Uh,
Dice.
let's see.
Looking
It's like-
for... Tomonius is hoping for
I hope
1s
4.
here. No,
Nope.
no. They're fine. So the
And
rest of them are
Bishop
still
Rings of
there.
Death,
They are more than
they
capable of
don't
taking out the
care about
Armiger
Zeus.
Warglaive by themselves. And they could present a problem
Okay.
to the Knight Castellan
So-
as well, actually.
I get 3 points for priority targets. No strangleholds. I killed 2 units for grind them down so far. And that's it. Back to you.
Okay, priority targets goes up to a 9 for our knight friend here. Amagic, on the other hand, is going for the full 15 for his main points.
15
And for
points. here.
secondaries, Raise the Banners goes up by 2 to start off with here.
Tentacle hate.
Nope.
Candle Gate fails again!
He doesn't feel like reciting, apparently.
He does
Yeah.
not want to hate people. Now, that's a
Just
problem
like
because the
that.
Wolfguard needs to come down this turn. 9-inch charge is a lot
Thing
harder
is,
than 7-inch charges.
This game pretty much in the hands of everyone, so. Okay, let us the Tentacle hate. That one does. Not Tentacle, the Litany of hate. And
So Litany Hate goes off, rerolling with hits in the fight phase. Still helpful.
Well, the Megara is kind of stuck there if he wants to actually do anything in this game. Well, score points in this game, that is. So, I have a really stupid idea, but it's 100% legal.
That sounds like a plan. Alright, let's take a look at this from the top down, see if I can't predict things. So I like predicting things and feeling
All your
smart.
points in.
At the moment, we do have a full squad of Wolfguard that have to come down this turn. I think that if they went up against the Knight Megara, that would be a mistake. They need to hide this turn. So, they need to kill the Armiger Warglaive, they need to hide from the Knight Castellan, and they need to be able to put these guys down in such a way that they can be useful next turn. I think that if there's a little gap somewhere in here to put them down, that might be helpful. They could go down potentially in here if there's enough space. I doubt it. One of the dumber options, honestly, is to just put them in cover here, so that way the shooting for the Knight Megara doesn't do super well. No, it's tough, actually. Not getting the Canticle of Hate means that you're relying on a 9-inch charge. I actually don't know what I would do. the Armiger obviously is going to die this turn. There's no way that doesn't happen. All they need to do is get the Wolf Guard to do that. And the Wolf Guard can also charge the Knight Castellan, tagging him, being a nuisance. Even with Titanic Feet, there's no guarantee that the Wolf Guard die, and he can remove another objective off of him. The Wolf Guard could easily just come down here and just make sure that they threaten the middle, so that the Megara can't get at them and nothing else can get at them. Then they just go on there, raise a banner, call it a day as well. That's an option for the next turn. It's tough. It's tough. Let's go ahead and listen to see what Amagic's thinking.
I can't make the move. Steam watchmaking. Not really. Let's just say I'll put him there.
So this is bottom of turn
Instead.
3.
That's also a possibility.
Seems they weren't this close before.
For those of you that are just joining us.
Yeah, all goes.
Yeah, that's the main thing, Pants, that I'm thinking is just contesting the point. Or potentially threatening to contest it by charging, killing the Armiger Warglaive, and then hiding behind this wall.
Well, that's automatic. Shitload. Actually, I don't need to.
Yeah, so the bike has a special rule that allows him to auto-advance the full 6. So it's going 20 inches advance without any issue. Being able to go wherever it wants.
It's actually fine far away. So, just make sure he's within shooting those guys. And you can throw a crack grenade. And yeah. I think that'll be all my moves, except I'm also gonna bring down my Deep Strike before they just die.
Always a good idea.
Don't pull a creeper. Remember you're striking scorpions.
There you go.
You can see that the Redemptor in the southwest corner there is hiding, making sure that it can't be shot so that way Njal can continue to do his psychic powers and hold the objective without dying.
Cool. Okay, and in one phase, these guys will they play banners. And everything
Okay.
else will throw some grenades.
We now do have a third banner up.
By casting to more away, of course. Instant spoken on Sternhammer.
Let's see if it goes off on Stormhammer.
Actually,
Ah!
doesn't work like I remember it does. Yep, just makes the 6 steel even more AP. And these guys are out. Damage. But I will go on Sternhammer.
Stormhammer! His instincts have been awoken!
The Stormcaller.
Yep.
Oh, look at it. Goes off.
So all the psychic powers have been effective.
And yeah. Grenade phase.
The grenade phase. That's a good one.
I'm gonna start with throwing grenade from the Wolf Guard. There.
Okay.
Yeah, having the third banner up here is great. It gives him another, what, 1, 2, 3 points if he's good about it. That's pretty good for an action, getting 3 free points.
Is it? Fails to wound.
So I agree with the banner play here. Tomonius is in a pickle, but he is starting to wipe out stuff that's able to kill him.
Wolf Guard, Armiger.
Yep.
This should kill the Armiger. Pretty much guaranteed.
Nice 6.
Damn it.
Alright, and you can see that he's trying to put them in such a place as they can, I don't know, hide from the Megara? I definitely would have put them a little bit closer to this northeast ruin.
Yep.
So that way they could try to keep out of line of sight of the Knight Castellan as much as possible, forcing the Megara to have to deal with them, and it's not guaranteed to deal with 4 of them. It's likely, but not guaranteed.
I'll start with Wolf Guard. Gonna be how many attacks?
Alright, so these Wolf Guard are going to go ahead and start attacking the Armiger. Again, chopping them down. There's 60 attacks. These are hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s.
Sergeant. Let's put you in there as
And 6s explode because it's the tactical doctrine. So 19 hits off of 16 attacks. What a time. And re-rolling everything that's less than a 5. Oh,
Okay.
wow! That
Oh, it's
moon
good.
is so dead because that's all empty
That's
minus
3
3.
AP, so 6s.
Look, it doesn't take a mathematician to
He
figure
is
out
dead.
that Space Wolves really
Does he
hit
explodes?
in close combat.
He does not.
Alright, so no explosions yet. That is another dead armor. There are 2 models left for the Knights. Both of them
No,
are sort of
we don't
pinned to
feel
their
like it.
objectives and are largely unable to do anything other than shoot.
How did I feel like twice in a row? Okay, can't move. Sure, let's stay there.
Okay.
Alright, that is my turn. I believe I killed one of the things, so you have grinded down once again.
Grind them
Yep,
down
okay,
happened
that's
again.
Grind him down.
4 days.
But there is a stranglehold, and there is a priority target here for the
Okay.
Space Wolves, putting us up to 9 and 9 points over there
Back
for
to
their
me.
secondaries. For our Knights here, we do have 6 points for
Yep,
grind them down
thanks.
now.
Alright. I do get 10 points now. Yay.
He is holding enough objectives to get up to 2 points. It's 48
And
to Jesus,
We'll
just
start
quite a
moving.
lot. Hold on. Did I read that right? 48 to 62? That's
Gara's
weird.
gonna move up a bit. See if I can get him on the point and in range.
Yeah, so the Megara at this point needs to try to
There
be
you
in
go.
range of the Wolf Guard and also shoot them while staying on this objective if he can.
The Castellan.
I'd be also very tempted to move, shoot, and then charge
It's fine
them
where he is
to
already.
guarantee their death. But then the Redemptor's Dreadnought could just pile in
So-
and run around the corner and punch him to death. I don't know, it's tough.
That's movement. We'll start shooting.
Alright.
The
Shooting time.
Megara will...
Top of turn 4. There aren't very many models left on the
Those
field for
guys,
either army,
yes.
but it's definitely a Space Wolves victory in the making here.
Megara will fire everything into this Wolf Guard.
Makes sense. Bloody them, make them weak and unable to really be efficient. That's a good
We'll
plan.
start with the Red Cleanser.
Okay. Rad Cleanser, 2d6 automatic hits.
That's
7. Perfectly
shots.
average. This dude's been doing pretty well with
Auto hit
that.
and wounding on 2s.
Because radiation weaponry says I wound on 2s.
All wounds, no
4
AP.
No AP. So 1 goes down and dies to the Rad Cleanser.
Alright.
CP reroll on the 1 though. All of the Wolf Guard
Right,
live off
so
of the Rad Cleanser.
Fine.
Okay, alright.
The Lightning Cannon. All 3s with exploding 6s. Nice.
Very
and
good
wounding on
stuff.
3s.
Each one of these that goes through is a dead Space Wolf.
8
Flat 3
minus 2.
damage. Oh, that's 5 dead.
That's
Oh, that's 5 dead.
5 guys down.
So,
Spicy.
half the squad obliterated by what effectively amounts to way better Tesla technology,
And then we get 4 shots with the plasma fusel.
because it's in rapid fire range. That makes sense. Hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s.
3s and on 3s again.
AP minus a whole lot though, so they're
Right,
on their
3,
invuln saves. Each one of these
that's
is
your
2
invuln.
damage. That's gonna be 2 dead Wolfguard, down to 3
2
left in the squad. And that's 1 Knight Megara, just shooting.
Idea.
Now imagine what would happen if he had then charged. Now I do think the Redemptor Dreadnought coming out and punching
Okay.
to death is like, you know, a bad time, but
Well, the Castellan
Tomonius
only
needs to start
really
thinking about
has
Stranglehold,
one
too.
target.
and tearing down the banners if he can.
But can he kill them?
You're gonna have to do some godly rolling around. Have to do some terrible rolling for that. But stranger
We've done
things
both
have
this
happened.
game, so-
Yeah, fair. Okay. Come on. The Castellan, yeah, he'll fire everything into the Wolf Guards.
Makes everything into the Wolfguard. I have a feeling that they're dead.
Calls Wrath, not overcharging. 6. He gets 7 shots. Hitting on 3s and wounding on 2s.
Okay. Needs 2s to wound here. Okay.
2
4 up in
that's
Vuln
invuln.
saves. That's 2
Okay,
dead.
You still die.
2 go down.
there's 2 Wolf Guard left that
Yep.
has to
Then
survive
we
2
get-
Shieldbreaker, twin Shieldbreakers,
Don't think he's in range
and
for
a
the melt.
Volcano
He's in
Lance.
range. He is in range for the melter, so let's just go for it. 2 twin melter guns.
And the
On
Melta's
threes and
guns.
on 2s.
This is close enough.
4 ups. Where have you gone?
Oh my
There you
lord.
go. That's your invul.
Oh yeah, those are woods.
1 will likely
One
die
more
automatically.
takes
It's
3
D6 plus 2.
damage. Then we go for complete overkill. We're gonna
Oh,
go
right.
for Volcano Lance.
Melta's only half 12-inch range. I keep thinking about
Gets
Retributors.
6 shots. I could have used this on something bigger, but I guess. Go and on 2s. There you go. 4.
4
That's
Volcano Lance
your
shots. If
info
this
again.
sergeant survives... No, he's dead.
Oh well,
There's nothing he can
Yep,
do.
he's dead as well.
the crowd is shocked.
So, there are a total of 3 Wolf Guard
And
left on
that's
the
the
field.
shooting.
There's no more killing these knights.
Can he charge? Cannot.
No, he's out of range. So no stranglehold for him.
So that's gonna be it. I do believe your Wolf Guard will have to do leadership.
That makes sense.
7 lost. I don't know if they can pass. 1 and 9 they can. 1 and 9. 1 or 2.
Nah, that's,
Yep.
that's a fail.
Okay.
Now the other
there's that.
2
Roll.
Come on,
don't roll
ones.
ones. He rolls a
Ah.
1. There's 1 Wolf Guard left on the
Close,
table, which
but
means
no
he
cigar.
holds the objective,
Ah, the pack leader.
which gives him another 15 points. So despite the fact that the Wolf Guard, the Space Wolves are almost dead, they are sitting at a very
Okay,
healthy score
uh,
right now at a 77.
I
Not
do
even
get
counting
priority
secondaries,
targets.
which goes up again because
I
it raises the
killed-
banners for 3.
1 unit for grind them down. And that's it.
So up to 80 points from that,
Back
and
to you.
then we can practically guarantee the other 6 points from priority targets and stranglehold at this point, so I'll just put you up to 86 Amagic. Oh my goodness.
Did I miss a turn on these? At least priority targets.
It's at the end of your turn, so
Yeah, it's turn 5 now. Oh no, turn 4.
yeah.
It's, you get 1 more.
I predicted this is going to be our score by the end of battle round 4 here. At this point, the Space Marines have to do one thing: keep holding this objective. There's nothing else to it. They don't have to do anything else. So right now, this Wolf Guard pack leader can just, I don't know, run off into the corner to eventually contest the primary by advancing and getting onto an objective and hopefully not getting
Think you
heroically
removed your
intervened by
banner.
the Castellan. I'm not sure if that works.
Oh, I didn't know I had a thing there. Sorry. Let's see. Go 12 here.
Mm-hmm.
Can. And you can go. I'm gonna do a little in a second.
Right, let's miss, yeah.
Again, evade, canticle hate,
Goes off
Hey.
once.
and litany. Goes off.
Goes
Cross goes off. Alright.
Okay. So now that the Canticle of Hate doesn't have Deep Strikers to work with, it goes off.
Just
Big
put
surprise!
So you'll be outside of. So you won't get.
You're predicting Tomonius is going to lose points over the course of the round? Did I put a score in the wrong spot? I must have.
Oh yeah, there's a bigger footprint.
I'm not a smart man, okay?
Something
They
like
call me
this.
slow for some reasons.
These incursors will just. Run up, so you need to advance them. Probably.
Tomonius is still doing really well considering, though. This is a tough matchup for Knights because of how hard they hit. That's illegal base stacking, I'll have you know. Okay, so they managed to stand on the objective, stranglehold guaranteed.
You will hit.
Yep, agreed, no one.
What the fuck am I saying?
And that's important, though. Making sure that your opponent does not ever score more for primary, or for forcing them to do like certain moves in order to stop them from like doing a certain number of points is important. What Tomonius really needs to do is score at least 10 And it would be lovely if he could do 15, but I don't think he physically can. So he needs at least 10 to get on the primary, so that way he's got 30 points for primary, which is already a 15-point deficit, which is brutal. And then on top of that, he needs to make sure his secondaries go off perfectly, which both players are doing.
Nothing to cast, really. Nothing's in range.
Shame.
I'll do Storm Color. Actually goes off because he has +1.
Right. Yep.
Yep. Back a little bit. Okay.
Cyberwolf just hangs out back here. I like how these Incurses have just been hanging out with the puppy this entire time.
Yep.
It's been very cute.
Definitely gets in there.
Yeah, we just moved straight on into the charge phase here. There is enough CP to interrupt.
6 + 2 is 8.
8. Yep.
Now, the big thing here is that they are now holding the objective, or contesting it. Which means that for primary,
Yep, he's definitely in there.
unless if this Knight Castellan kills both of them, which is unlikely, yeah, that's a bit of a problem for primary there. Scoring only 5 points for the top of turn 5? Yeah, that's brutal.
First.
Yep.
5 attacks on a charge. Real himself. And on 5s. 2 wounds, -2.
-2, so he gets a 5-up.
5-up invuln save says he takes 4 damage.
Nope. That's how much damage?
2 each.
2 damage each. Okay, so
Yeah.
4 damage goes down to 24.
Yeah, the Knight Castellan's not going to die here or really get badly wounded. Like the Wolf Guard, it's great. He's hitting on 2s. He's rerolling 1s. Small problem though. He's wounding on 6s,
And
which really feels bad.
Why did you get 5 attacks? Oh, right, the claw as well. Yeah, never mind.
Claws and sergeant. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. 3 more wounds at -3.
Wow, impressive.
-3, so 6
is
ups.
needed here. Takes
Yep,
all 3
takes all
damage.
3.
So you know
Goes
what?
down to
Between the
21.
two models, they did pretty well.
Alright, smack me.
And now he gets... Yeah, he can consolidate.
Ugh.
Let me just get
Now, the main thing here is that he absolutely needs to kill both somehow. With 12 attacks.
Alright, who's getting
Jeez.
smacked?
What, put 3 into the Wolf Guard pack?
Alright,
Like, put
let's see.
everything else into Stern Hammer and hope, I guess?
If he does his Titanic feat, it's 3 attacks per attack, so I'll do 3 into the Wolf Guard and 9 into Sternhammer.
Yep, that's...
It's probably the division I have to do to have a chance at clearing the
I
objective.
actually called it. Okay, cool. I feel smart.
Alright,
Shame they're not House Crest.
3 into the Wolf Guard on force.
3s to
Wounding
wound.
on 2s.
2s? 2s. It doesn't
Okay.
matter either way.
At your invul.
Spend on CP here.
Spending the CP here makes sense, but it's not enough. D3 damage, you could kill him.
3. Come on. 3
Flattens
damage.
the
He's
Wolf
down.
Guard, kicks him into a pile of meaty mush.
Oh, right, yeah.
Keep forgetting how that.
Alright, now for the 9. It's a Stern
Alright,
Hammer.
and then
Toughness 5
9
here.
attacks on force and on force.
Although I do not have a CP to reroll that fail save anymore.
Wait, 4s and
Not CP, but
4s.
opportunity.
He's toughness 5.
And force. Right, 3. That's
Right,
your invul.
minus 1 to wound.
Can I make some?
Oh,
Makes
okay.
2, so it's only D3 damage. Stern
Oh.
Hammer lives another day.
And takes
He does
3
take
damage.
the full 3 though,
Decent.
which is painful.
Mhm.
She's down to 4 wounds left. But this does mean that for primary, the Knights only score
Alright.
5 points at the top of turn 5. Which means that it's a 20-point deficit, which is,
I think that's it.
statistically speaking, the end of the game, really.
You get both Stranglehold and priority targets.
And he gets grinded down. Tomonius gets grinded
And-
down. Which puts us up to 54 points for
Back to me, I
Tomonius
guess.
here.
You wanna just talk out the rest of this? Because you can kill anything you shoot anyways.
Sorry.
And I predicted
What?
those
I wanna
points.
do what?
I feel smart.
Like, do you just want to talk it out? Because you can kill anything. Anyways.
Yeah. Like, Megara is gonna move here. Can't shoot at Njal, so he's probably not gonna shoot at all. Then he's gonna try and charge into these guys. Punch them off the objective. Castellan is gonna fall back, just slightly shoot Sternhammer. So that's that. I managed to tear down your banner then.
That's important.
So yeah, I have 5 points to my start. I have priority targets. Alright, I do get 3 points for grind them down. And I'll get another 3 probably this turn. Because I don't think you're gonna table me.
Nope.
I killed 2 units.
Yeah, I probably won't get the last stranglehold. Could have actually played Elon better. Oh well. I will get priority targets.
Yep. And strangle.
Fighter.
2 banners, and yep. I
Stranglehold,
think that's gonna be it.
Wow.
Yeah, because you can just integrate. Oh, wait.
Wait, yeah, I can like consolidate him. Wait, no, I have to consolidate him closer to Njal. It would depend on how much I can charge. So
Fuck, I could have made a really good play here. I mean, if I tied this guy up, and I can't get around your bubble of the
intervention, yeah.
not a bubble of intervention, but engagement range.
Oh,
To
yeah.
just advance on that objective. So yeah, I won't score anything but banners and primary priority.
Yep. I think that's it.
Yep.
All right. GG.
Good game indeed.
Let's see if how that looks
quite
like.
enjoyed the
91 to
time played.
65. That
Actually,
sounds
time.
about right.
It was fun. It made some mistakes in the early game that cost me the game. But well.
Okay, let's go ahead and
Yeah,
talk
I
to them
think
for a
my
second.
mistakes were just mostly small stuff. It didn't end up changing anything.
So, what do you mean by small mistakes, Tomonius? Out of curiosity, like, what do you think happened?
I think the first turn I played perhaps a bit too aggressive. I should have maybe like spent another turn trying to shoot as much as I can and then actually go in for the charge. I think that would have. I probably wouldn't have gotten like things like strangleholds the first turn, but I would have gotten. I would have had more models left at the end or in the later turns.
Yeah,
And that probably would have helped me a lot.
yeah, especially if you had kept that your other Megara alive somehow a little bit longer. That might have been handy.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was a moment though where he was badly damaged. He was on the vent, and you had a chance to charge in and kill Sternhammer and a bunch of other folks there. Why did you not re-roll that failed charge?
Because I didn't think it was worth it. Looking back at it now, it probably would have been.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about it simply from Sternhammer's point of view for the Canticle of Hate, which then ended up doing nothing on the 2 turns where it needed to do something. So that didn't make a big difference. But killing off the Incursors, I think, completely would have made at least a slight difference, right?
Probably would have made a difference.
But still, like, really well played. For a Knights list, this is interesting because it does have a huge amount of firepower. It nearly wiped out the Space Wolves here and did a really good job of staying, at least threatening the entire game long. Why did you just choose to build the list the way that you did, with House Raven instead of House Krast, which tends to be the favorite these days?
Because House Raven gives a lot of mobility, because you can advance and shoot everything, which gives you a lot of better like angles to shoot at stuff.
Yeah.
So that helps a lot, and there's some stratagems that are House Raven specific with the with one of the Charodon books.
Yeah.
That also help a lot. House Krast is definitely also very good. I've played some some games with this with Crest, which makes them a lot better in melee, so you can like finish the job much easier when you after you whittled them down with shooting.
Yeah.
It's both very good for their own things.
The House Raven's the knight household that has access to the reroll all your dice strat when shooting, right?
Yes.
Did you use that at any point? I think I missed it if you did.
No, I didn't. I maybe could have used it somewhere, but I think most things I shot at, like, I wiped off the board or got, like, close enough. I think probably, maybe with the Megara against these Wolf Guards, I could have used it.
Right.
I was so close.
Right, that makes sense. Okay, cool. I really don't have anything else to say, though, Tomonius. You did a really good job of playing as best as you could. You did a good job of contesting with what I think was a terrible matchup for you. Speaking of which, Amagic, how did you feel walking into a double Megara Castellan Knight list?
Excited. I already read about the new Raven stuff before, and they have some really, like, interesting stratagems that we didn't see this game. But I can also understand why, because, well, like, they have a cool stratagem where they can force an opponent to fight in one rank, but when I can pile in 6 inches, it's just a waste, and just a lot of situations like that. It's kind of like a bad matchup for him, definitely. He did score a lot more than I thought, mostly because the mobility of Raven is just super scary for me. I can't predict how he will move with the D6 extra, and you can even charge after that. So
Yeah.
I kind of like kept my Dreadnoughts really far back, because I knew as soon as the Castellan locks onto them, they just die. So I just kept taking pot shots with them.
Yeah, that happened twice, didn't it? Every time the Castellan looked at a Redemptor, that Redemptor did die. So, okay, at least you were correct about, you were correct about predicting that, and you used your Redemptors in different ways too. Keeping Nyal alive was really important, since he was the only thing holding your back objective right there. That said, I still felt like it was a really good matchup for you in some respects because of your Wolfguard. And then the Wolfguard didn't get their canticles to really go off. The one Wolfguard still managed a 9-inch charge, which was absolutely necessary for you to land. But then the other Wolfguard deployed a banner and then died horribly. So, that didn't go exactly as planned, did it?
Actually, that went exactly as planned, because at that point the game was kind of over. Like, I was just trying to score more banner points. It really wouldn't have changed anything, I think, to go for a big play with them.
Right, okay.
I probably could have, but just risky compared to that.
Well, is there anything else you two would like to add? Like, Tomonius, is there, like, a difference in secondaries you might have picked, based off of what happened with this game? Or do you think you still picked the right secondaries, all things considered?
It's difficult to say, because that's one of the problems that the Knights have at the moment. Is it's very difficult to pick secondaries for them, because like there's no psychic stuff I can do, and the what's it called, shadow operations thing, where you have a bunch of actions.
Yeah.
Some of them can be done by Knights, because it doesn't specify that they have to be infantry. The problem is, if you let a Knight do, if Knights do it, you lose a unit, like a big model that has to do it, which is still not ideal. I don't know if I could have gone for something different. Maybe the Stranglehold, but Engage wouldn't have been much better, I think.
Agreed. And Linebreaker obviously never happened at any point.
Yeah, I didn't get anywhere near his deployment zone. So, I don't know.
Yeah, like, it would have been a really tough call. I mean, if chat has any ideas for, like, a different secondary than Stranglehold, then, like, let me know. But I do think that Stranglehold was probably the only secondary I looked at, Tomonius, where I was like, I could see the idea, but knowing what Space Wolves are capable of, I was pretty sure that was going to end badly for you.
Yeah, same. It wasn't an ideal secondary, far from, but I don't think I had any other really good options, which was kind of the problem.
Yeah, because for Grind Them Down, that's in the same category as To the Last, right? And then there's nothing in the other category that you look at and go, you know what, this sounds like a great plan. Other than potentially going for, I don't know, Assassinate. But even then, that was no guarantee and would have just forced the Amagic to play a little bit more differently, right?
yeah, assassinate. He would have probably played a bit more defensive. I would have gotten 3 more points off it, I think, or maybe even 4, because I think the biker was the warlord, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I imagine so.
Yeah, so that would have been 4 extra points. Bit more, not tremendous.
Not enough
and
to
I
change
think,
the game. Yeah.
Nah, no, and yeah, like you said, he could have then Amagic would have probably played a lot more played a bit more defensive with his characters.
Mm-hmm. And
Hard to tell.
Mhm.
Honestly, I would have just made the same moves, to be honest. Maybe not the chaplain, but the biker play was always on the menu.
Yeah, the biker
No.
play, by the way, was really, really cool because I thought you kept him around the dreadnoughts to help like reroll ones without having to spend CP, and then instead you threw him up along that flank, having the dreadnoughts just hang back, give themselves the rerolls, and had the captain just be an absolute like a huge fly in the ointment for Tomonius' ability to score. Like that was very effective, surprisingly effective.
That was such a good thing. It just like it occupied my Megara for like 2-3 turns, like trying to get there, killing him, and then moving back. So yeah.
Amagic, is there anything in particular you'd like to go ahead and mention at this point? Because honestly, this is such a cut and dry matchup. It's very hard to really dissect it for anything other than, well, I guess I should have killed this unit, and I probably should not have killed that unit when I did, or something along those lines, right? Like it's like it's
overwhelming him with models. Like it could have been a different chapter or something else. It probably would have gone pretty similarly. Although of course Space Wolves are really good at this kind of matchup as well.
Yeah, like other chapters have their strengths. Like White Scars would have played this and probably killed all the knights eventually because they were that offensive, and they wouldn't have scored as much early like you did. Salamanders might have had a hard time because they're so slow. They would have gotten outshot relatively easily, but they do have access to Melta that allows them to kill these guys really, really quickly as well. Like Space Marines have, like everybody has play into knights, but in particular Space Marines are good at it since they can kind of work in every phase of the game very well. And the score shows that. But I do think the Space Wolves are in a unique position to be extremely efficient against them. And they are super fast, they have the extra heroic interventions, they have the super long charges thanks to a chaplain, and then the efficiency in close combat is insane. Like,
Just to be reliable.
yeah, it's super reliable. The 10-man Wolfguard, like, Wolfguard unit that just took out 2 Armigers by themselves pretty much, was eye-opening. Like, that was horrifying. And I've seen a squad of 10 Incursors rip down 20 Necron Warriors without batting an eye. So, Space Wolves are just good in close combat, which is the Knight's biggest weakness, really.
Yep.
Alright, well, I don't have any other questions. In that case then, Tomonius, Amagic, thank you very much for hopping onto the game. We really appreciate you showing off your game here. And it was a really good game to watch. There were a lot of people rooting for both sides. People were excited to see Knights do well. Even if they didn't win, they certainly they certainly killed a lot of stuff, which was a lot of fun to watch. And congratulations, Amagic, on your win. What kind of games are you guys looking forward to in your pods now? Like, who's left in your pod right now?
Go first.
Yeah, sorry,
I have
Amagic, you go
everybody
first.
else left. I have everybody else left. There's this one really strange list of Dark Angel successors, Blood Angel successors, and Guard. I don't know if it's some kind of 5D stratagem or just I have no idea what that is, but I'm super excited against it.
And then, what about you, Tomonius? Is there a particular matchup that you're looking forward to, or that you're interested in playing later on in the pod?
I am also playing against the guy with the Dark Angel successor, Blood Angel successor, and the Imperial Guards. I'm also very excited to see how that list works. I think I have a better shot against him because what I've seen, he doesn't have a whole bunch of stuff like high strength or anti-tank stuff. So
Yeah.
I think my matchup there is better. And my other opponent, now I need to think, is the Tyranid player, which is
Ooh.
also, I think, a very interesting thing because I've looked at his list and I'm wondering he's running like I think close to 30 Gene Stealers spread out, 30-40 Gene Stealers like spread out over 4 or 5 units.
Yeah.
58.
he's got a whole bunch of Gene Stealers spread, which I think is interesting. It's gonna be he's probably gonna have to play. He's gonna have to play the primary game against me because like
Gene Stealers bounce off of knights.
they bounce off knights. He's got, I think he's got some like some of the usual shooting that Tyranids have, but like my Megaras play incredibly well into Gene Stealers because they have a 5-up armor save and a 5-up feel no pain, which is like perfect for my red cleansers to just mow them down.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing all those matches. If either of you really want to go ahead and have your games streamed, we'd be happy to have either of you back because this was a really good time. Both of you were lovely opponents to watch play, and yeah, that'll do it. Are there any final words or places where like things that you'd like to plug before I say goodbye to you two, Tomonius?
Don't sleep on knights. They can punch. They can punch pretty hard. And I think they can definitely win some games if you play them well.
Yeah, you know what? True story.
I
have not won against knights once.
Oh, okay. I'm just hoping that Codex gives them some decent stuff. Like I've seen some ideas float around with knight stuff, like having the knights count as a number of models when for holding objective, like things like either in their brackets or like having them count as the amount of having them count as like half their wounds in models for standing on an objective, stuff like that. So they have more success on doing primaries.
Yeah.
Because I think apart from that, knights are fine. They just need a way to hold primaries better.
Yeah, agreed. And Amagic, how about you? Is there any place where people can find you or talk to you if they want to ask you questions about your Space Wolves list?
On the server. I do hang around from time to time, but I do want to plug one thing.
Please do.
Pour one out for my big buddy Santa Grimnar. I really wanted to bring him for this season, but this meta is just not good for the old man.
Poor Santa. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. But yeah, that's it.
All right. Thanks, you two. You take it easy. Thanks again for casting your game here. We hope that you do so again.
It was fun. I'll see if any of my opponents want to stream.
Sick. All right. Bye, you two.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
All right, and that's going to do it. Look, Tomonius putting on an excellent show for Knights against Amagic and his Space Wolves, but Amagic does take the victory. And we'll move on to, they'll both move on to the next games in their pods. For now, this has been Slowwolf. I have been your lovely host for the stream. We'll be back again tomorrow, an hour earlier than when we started today. So I think that's counts math, does thing in head. Is it 14 UTC? I think it's 14 UTC. We'll be back again tomorrow with another game. It'll be a pretty interesting one to say the least. I think it's Deathwatch versus Necrons, if I remember correctly. But if anybody wants to stream, go ahead and talk to Aggressively Memeing. If you want to go ahead and have your games cast on stream live by yours truly, and hopefully some co-casters in the future as I get the hang of doing this again. Although I do like casting by myself as it allows me to just talk nonstop, which is my favorite thing to do. If you guys want to go ahead and check it out for yourself and join Alpha League Season 9 or come in on live games that are just being played on the Discord, hey, have you checked out our Discord? Pants, get on that. Please be my servitor. Check out our Discord where the majority of the community is and where we go ahead and do a big talk about everything and play a bunch of learning games. We play a bunch of high competitive games. We play everything in between. We learn how to do everything to do with TTS and Warhammer 40K on there. So go ahead and check it out. It's a thriving community and probably one of the biggest for Warhammer online, period, straight up. We also have our Reddit, which is r/TTS W40K, I think, or Warhammer 40K. If you look it up, you'll find it very quickly. The Reddit thread is, the Reddit community is also equally fairly strong. You can check us out on YouTube where these VODs go live. Speaking of which, hey VOD boys, how's it going? And VOD ladies, you too. Sorry, didn't mean to leave you out. VOD everybody else, I didn't mean to leave you out either. I feel like a jerk. I'm sorry. That said, go ahead and check out our VODs. TTS Warhammer 40K on YouTube. We'll find you everything from AlphaCast, our places where we cast all these games that you've been, that you just want, like the one you watched today from previous seasons. You can also find the Alpha Pod, which is our podcast run by me, where we talk about news happening in the Alpha League and the community of Warhammer, of the TTSWH40K Discord community. And we also have our tutelage games, where people are learning how to play, learning how to use Tabletop Simulator in general to play, all that stuff. So definitely check out our YouTube channel, subscribe to that, hit the bell for notifications when videos go live so you don't miss a thing. Hey, have you followed the Twitch channel, by the way? Definitely do that. Hit the follow button, hit the bell for notifications when these streams go live. That way you don't miss a thing here either. You can also just, head over to the Discord and join that, and we make sure to ping everybody every single time that we stream. It's a great feeling to ping 1,000+ people. That said, that'll probably do it. Oh, wait! There's also a Patreon. If you feel like this is a pretty good quality content and you like to support future endeavors of the community and the people who are making all these games happen, all these casts happen, and everything else, hey, we got a Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/Warhammer TTS Warhammer 40 and letter K, you should be able to find us there. You can go ahead and support us at 3 different tiers at the moment, but anything at all right now is super appreciated, and we think that you're all lovely regardless. We put in our free time to do this. We are not paid. And we are just doing our best to make sure that we can give back to the community as best as we can. So, thanks again for that. And then that's going to do it. Look, if you want to go ahead and check me out, if you think that me as a caster on his own is also a pretty cool time, you can check me out at twitch.tv/Slowwolf, where I stream my own Warhammer games, where I play stuff like Monster Hunter or whatever as well. It's its own community that kind of grew out of playing a game called Awesome Nuts. For all of you that know Awesome Nuts and that suddenly recognize who I am, hey, how's it going? Wait, that's none of you? What? Anyway, you can go ahead and check me out there. You can check me out on YouTube as @Slowwolf as well, and on Twitter as @Slowwolf, where I occasionally shout out what I'm doing, and post pictures of, like, my brother's dog or whatever. So that's gonna do it. Thanks for watching. Hope you folks enjoyed yourselves. This has been the Alpha Cast. Tomonius versus Amagic. Space Wolves taking the victory. And we'll see you folks tomorrow at 10 o'clock EST, 1400 hours UTC, for an epic game between the Necrons and the Deathwatch, I think, if I remember my memory correctly. Bye!